celebrating 3 years of bringing you the very best in LGBT talk programming. This is
Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Yeah, good evening, 701. It is The Show coming to you live from the Q Talk America Plaza in the Q Talk America studios. We are live in Studio B. Hi, my name's Clayton McKee. I am here each and every week with The Show, along with Katie, Marnie, and usually Al Perkins, but filling in once again while I was out of town, Erin Henderson.
Thanks for having me back.
Oh, thank you for being here. Why do I have to scramble around and try to find people who know how to put words together in sentences? I mean, it's like conjunction, junction.
The end of last week's show, maybe not so much with the sentences for me, but whatever.
The end of every show.
Right. Good call.
Does it really matter?
Yes.
If you've ever heard the show before, you know how we wind up. Hour 3 is always the most interesting hour. Yeah. We don't know really what's going on. It's quite all right. But once again, welcome. You are here. Let's see who is live with us out of country right now, because it's always interesting to see. Welcome,
so
Kuwait.
Fun.
Kuwait and Israel
Hi,
are
Kuwait.
the only two countries outside of the U.S. listening live right now. You can listen live to us through our audio stream, or if you care to watch, by all means do so. Go to qtalkamerica.com, click on the Watch Live link at the banner on the top of the page. You can watch us live and interact with us in the chat room. Do not call us, because we honestly don't have time for your calls.
and I look much thinner when you listen.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that how it is?
No,
me
too, actually.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
right down.
I think we all do. Yes. That's why another reason I always wear black. I mean, there are a lot of reasons. Just because I'm lazy.
The cut of this shirt, when we were looking earlier, Clayton said, "Look back on the camera, and I want to see what we were playing with lighting." And I looked back and whoa, with the tight in tank top.
Well, I would
probably going to be the last time I wear this ever.
Well, I would dare to say, based on some things I've already heard, you look much better than most of the women did last night at the New Kids on the Block concert.
Oh, Lord.
I realized that 90% of this show is going to be all about last night for you three.
Sunday night.
Or whatever. It's some night before now.
Yes.
So I know you were all there, and Marnie was showing pictures. Now, from what I'm understanding from the pictures that you showed,
real bad.
Now, first of all, let's give the lineup. Who all was there?
She was a football field wide.
No, wait, no.
It
Who was the concert?
Opened with Boys to Men,
Okay.
who were phenomenal.
Silly good.
It was obscene.
So good.
Yeah.
So it was Boys to Men.
Yeah.
ABC,
And then
baby, I wish.
the East Coast Family. There was some group in the middle. I think it was called Nick Lachey and Ugly Brother and Friends.
Or 108 degrees or
98.
Oh, so 98.
47.5
What the
Fahrenheit.
hell was that?
Okay.
I actually went to go get a drink.
Little
That was
embarrassed.
it was. My friends that I were with are
Embarrassed.
a couple years younger than me, and so we were all still New Kids peeps, but they were
Right.
more 98 degrees. I just couldn't.
Okay, so then we in KOTB, which is
Yeah.
New Kids
And
on
then
the
New
Block.
Kids for
There you
2
go.
hours.
then
Those
you-
old men played for 2 hours
Yeah.
straight, dancing, jumping, the whole thing.
What she means
Sex
by
and
old
me up.
men is different than
Well, no,
what she means
old
by
men
old
because they're not 8 years old like they
I
were in that video
realize that.
anymore.
But have you heard of the Rolling Stones? Still going.
Actually,
yeah.
you're right.
They all
But they're not singing-
they all now look like Keith Richards.
Right.
But
Their
But
faces are
they're
melting
singing
off
like
too.
Satisfaction, and these guys are singing "Please Don't Go, Girl."
Yeah.
That's good, babe.
What?
Yeah.
You know, like
That was good.
That was really good.
Thanks.
But it was
a little high.
so just the 3 groups?
Yeah.
just the 3.
Okay, got it.
Just the
So Boyz II Men opens. They sing their popular songs. I
Right.
was actually
Amazing.
surprised that I knew every single word to every single
Me
song
too.
they sang. Like I knew I liked them.
I think more and more people are surprised at what they know. They're like, oh, I don't know any of their music. The second you hear the tune, you're like, oh, da da da, and you're
Yeah.
like, more people do that than I think realize.
Except it was the opposite for 98 Degrees because I thought I gotta know one of their songs, and they kept singing and singing. And I look over at Marnie, I'm like, I don't know a goddamn song. I texted my sister who's significantly younger, and she's like, they must be playing new stuff. Nope, I don't know.
No.
And then they played that one Una Noche song.
Yeah.
I'd heard that
I
one.
know that one.
But
I knew
not
that
by
one.
them.
But
But
that
I
was
thought it was like a
Una
Ricky
Noche.
Martin offshoot
Yeah.
or something. I'm like, what's
Oh.
happening? But I don't think
Yeah.
so.
So from what you showed on the picture you had on your phone, apparently all the people that were there dug out what they wore back when these groups first came out.
Yes.
Yes,
And
that
so-
is
so this-
true.
and or
25 years ago, by the
Yeah.
way, which
Right.
they said a number of times, and I kind of wanted to be like, stop it.
I know.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was very cute when Joey McIntyre said something about, see, that's why you can hang out with us 25 years later, because you were 6 when you
Yeah.
started
Right,
listening
right,
to
right.
us. And,
Cute.
and so you're not really
It's
that
true. I
old,
really was
you know,
8.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God. see?
Yeah, I was 8.
I was 25.
Yeah.
No,
Stop.
I
Shut
was
up.
20-ish.
20. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so, but you were going to make a comment in regards to the costuming.
Oh.
And or just things that shouldn't be worn
Ever. Yeah.
Ever. So there were many people that we commented that had to have gone, oh my God, I still save my new kid stuff.
Yeah.
And they took it out of their closet and shouldn't have.
Well,
Okay.
because it was
But these-
25 years and 300 pounds ago.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if they realize
Yeah.
this, but like, you know, even spandex has a life. And it'll stretch 1 billion times, but 1,000,000,001, it's not coming
done,
back.
Done.
Nope.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see
So
that fall
true.
down. We
No.
don't want to see that fall down.
No.
And this one that I mean, really, don't wear mauve if it's going to kind of match your
You're going to look like a Buick, aren't you?
Or naked.
3.
or naked.
Or
Or
naked.
naked.
With the right lighting, it didn't look like she had anything on because it was like a, what do you call it? Like a
Halter.
boob top. whatever.
Halter? No.
it was a boob top.
Tube.
Tube,
whatever.
Whatever.
It was one of the
I
craziest
think, I
things I've
don't
ever
thi-
seen.
no, you, not even either one of you. If it was a tube top, that just means it goes right across. If it's going
Yeah,
out and
that's true.
around things,
Yeah.
that's a boob top.
That's a
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
It was.
This was something. And then there were 3 of them, and the one in the middle, tiniest,
Well, that's why she was in the
Bigger
middle.
than both of
Oh.
us.
She had to sit in the middle.
Still.
and together. And then the third one, I'm not kidding. I've seen some boobs in my day, but this, some
Yeah.
bitch. Like,
Emerson's. Emerson's.
oh, Emerson.
Yeah.
Emerson.
Emerson boobs.
I was like, oh,
Wow.
And she would turn and I would duck. And she was
I
like 4 rows ahead of us.
I really appreciated the picture that you showed us all before we went on the air was that the row immediately behind them was empty.
2 of them.
So two
Yeah,
rows.
and then us.
In case there would have been an explosion, or like if one of those
Or if the tube top fell
right,
down.
would have actually come
if
apart.
if a seam gave out, you know, everything just kind of an amoeba just sort of.
You're right.
Right, wow.
And the people in front of them, fucked.
Oh yeah.
If that had happened. Oh, it would have been a
Literally,
goddamn emergency.
actually.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, and this doesn't have anything to do with the concert, but I was at the grocery store the other day, and there was a girl who had just had a baby. So, you know, you got to give her a little bit of, give them some wiggle room.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
had a baby. But she was real big before she had that baby.
Oh,
And
this
she-
wasn't
One of those
baby
that
fat.
doesn't
No.
look pregnant when she's
No.
pregnant.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I'm having a baby. No, you're
No.
not.
Yeah. And she had on this shirt, and I feel now I'm just like ragging on a random girl at the store, but don't wear this, and I
Right.
won't have to talk about you. You're making me talk about you. And it was this T-shirt that she had stylized, and so
Oh,
the back
God.
of it, she like cut strips, so the whole back of the shirt was like these tiny little strings tied together,
which
the
is just
whole thing,
a lot of skin.
and and these tiny little booty shorts, and I get it, it's hot, but put some clothes on.
Seriously.
It's warm because that's not hot. At all.
No, I don't get it.
Tepid.
Like, when does someone pour themselves into that kind of an outfit and think, this looks great, let's go grocery shopping?
I do it about 5:30 every Tuesday.
Yeah,
No, but
have to-
you shop at AJ's, don't you?
This was at Safeway,
Okay, I was like, why was
which
this one
should
at
actually
AJ's?
be better than
Than
the fries.
Fry's.
Safeway is, serious
Right.
step up from fries.
Right.
Safeway was an interesting crowd the other day.
Well,
Anyway, it's shocking to me. Some people wear, but you
But
have to
maybe
share
they-
the tattaoo. Really was the best part.
It really was something.
Yeah.
Well, it was in German, and we had to Google Translate it because we thought that can't be
It
it.
can't be what it said.
Because you thought it was something, she loves dick. Is that what you thought it said?
That's what it was.
That's what it does say.
Oh,
It's
so
what
it does say?
I love
dick.
dick.
Ich liebe Dick.
But that's not what it means in English, is it?
Yes,
We Googled it.
Ibliga.
Oh, it does mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
I
a
love.
stupid.
It's just
She's
I
a-
love dick.
She's
on
a,
a
God
back.
bless
Do
her.
you
She's
think
just a
she's
large
married
But
whore.
it's
to a
not
guy?
just. It's not just her back. It's her because she's not small. It's,
It's
her
her back.
It's a
And
billboard.
It is a billboard.
Yeah, because it goes like this.
Well, did you look under this on? Maybe this is like dictionaries and words. Like it just wraps around her.
You couldn't have seen under your
DICKTIO. Yeah, no.
Right.
And it wasn't a capital D, it was a small d, so
Right.
that doesn't mean
Well,
proper
it was
case.
capital,
Capital
but
D.
all the letters were capital.
Yeah.
Oh, she's really
means
loving
it.
dick.
She
I
means it.
love dick.
It's kind of like when you look at a football player that has a really long name.
Right.
That's kind of how her back looks.
And it can go from
Just really
shoulder
long
to shoulder.
on her
Yeah.
back.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And the number was right here.
Yeah.
867-5309.
It was bad.
She's a whore. And God bless her.
Well,
They all.
God bless
that,
whores.
you're a whore. When
That's
you
the
write,
message we like to
I
give
love
out on
dick
this
on
show.
I
your
is
love
back.
God
dick
bless whores.
across your giant back. You're a whore.
Giant.
That's like not you. That's
It looked like a barn in the middle of
I wonder. Now, depending on the position, it might be
Oh,
an
leave
inspirational
that
thing for the guy that's behind her, who's like, if she said, I keep going. You know, I don't know.
Okay, because you don't want to see your face. So here's the best part. After the concert, we're out at the merchandise stand to find things to buy.
Yeah.
And all three of them somehow are behind us.
Oh, and you can
it's
just feel their presence.
well, yeah. I mean, So one of them's like, I want shirt number 37. And the other was like, I want shirt number 52. And so the girl turns around and asks
For a size.
back,
Yeah.
what size shirt do you want? And she said, extra large. No, just a large.
I have this one in my
Bitch.
ear. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Oh my God.
And one of her friends was like, maybe the extra large. She goes, no, the large. What? Honey,
She's probably going to
you weigh
stylize the back of
350.
it.
Maybe
she wants
she's
to,
gonna-
like, you know,
Tie,
yeah,
go to
so-
Safeway.
Maybe she's
Yeah.
going to frame it and do something like a decoupage.
Well, then get
No,
a small.
that bitch is
maybe?
going to wear that
That's
shirt.
what I did.
Yeah, bitch is gonna wear
Stylizing.
that
She's
shit.
gonna be
And
all
Well,
about it.
I didn't have that same experience. Mine was much more pleasant.
well, it's fantastic. We just had to see that.
We were surrounded by lovely people.
Thank God.
Well, it was four of us, and then randomly, this guy that Michael Karcher showed up with another friend of his. So that was really fun.
Why do I
And
know that
sat
name?
with us, Michael.
I know that name.
Yeah, you probably know him.
Is that? Can I interrupt? Is that wine in a mini glass in a mini bottle?
Yes.
It is a
Where the
little
hell is
split.
that from?
AJ's.
well, we'll be shopping there.
Yeah. hook
I
my shit
know.
up. Okay,
Because
keep
if I
going
had a
about
full
New
glass,
Kids.
if I had a big bottle,
If you run out, we
Me
have a
too.
refrigerator in Studio A full of wine.
yeah.
Well, yeah, good to know.
Good to know, right?
Right.
If
So
we lose Aaron during the show, look for her in there.
yeah, in the refrigerator. So what was great is because we were back just a little ways, and when the new kids sang tonight, and they all come out into the crowd and they like touch people's hands. So first of all, I sounded like Clayton yesterday because I was screaming like a 14-year-old.
Okay.
No, like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like really was having the time of my life.
Uh-huh.
And so they come out to like be in the audience, and Natalie, God bless her, and I just love her. She was like, "Let's go!" And she like starts bolting over chairs because we're right at a point in the stadium where it's the underpass to go,
Where the
underneath.
players go?
Sure.
Yeah, so you can't get down to the front right where we are. So we have to go like another section over
Around and down.
and like bolting over chairs. She's literally like elbowing people to get past.
At
get
what
out
point
of
did,
the front.
when did security cross check her and just take her out?
I know, and they didn't. And so I
They were
ran.
too busy looking at the girls in front of us going,
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I know.
We're not serving food, are we? No, good.
I know this is old, but those are dinosaurs.
We bolted down. Danny Wood was really super close. He didn't come by us. He walked right
He's
over
afraid.
He was one of them.
and went
I
the other
think.
way.
No, I know who New Kids are. I don't know who.
No, but
98
remember there
Degrees.
were two of them that we were like,
Oh,
Danny and
Jonathan.
Jonathan,
I forgot
yeah.
Jonathan's name.
John's the gay one.
He's the gay
I don't
one.
ever have a
Admittedly,
chance with
yeah.
him,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm over
Whatevs.
it. So Danny came over close to us, and Natalie and I swear to God, both of us were jumping up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming, reaching our hands out. It's just like fun.
Right.
And so anyway, I know,
would've
right?
loved to have
That's
seen
fun.
that.
Top of my lungs.
It was
4 hours. Top of my lungs. Wouldn't stop. Oh my
Yes,
God, it hurts
I
so bad.
sang every song.
Uh-huh.
It was so much fun. So then we ended up sitting back. We sat down right in that front row. There was no one there. And my favorite is that I looked behind me to the woman who is singing along, and it's awesome. She's our age, and she's got her camera up when they play "Hangin' Tough," and she's videoing.
Sure.
And she's like, "Hangin' Tough," arm going, and her two little daughters are like this in the chairs.
I know.
Literally. So like the girls that would have been into it, they were
Sure.
Asleep.
beyond bored.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, "Oh, mom." And the mom's like, "Woo!" And it was so, but it was
That's very
so
funny.
cute.
We had a kid asleep in our row, like an 8-year-old who was out.
Out like a
Okay,
light.
can we just discuss this? So new kids all of a sudden are into touching their penises and thrusting a lot and taking their shirts off and flashing.
Well, they
abs.
look awesome.
They look
So,
awesome.
give
They
me some
didn't do
abs.
enough of that 25 years ago.
Where are you gonna go?
Right, but
Just
like
saying.
25, right? So a lot of naked and a lot of crotch grabbing, but that Donnie Wahlberg.
No. We can't talk about it right now. I've got a little
Is there
bit
a
about
segment? Is there a segment
that.
coming
We've
up?
got a little bit about
Okay,
that.
because
Honey,
I have an opinion
little
on
bit-
him too, but I'm
Okay.
going to keep it to
All right.
myself.
All right, well,
All right.
I said
gotta
to
get
Kelly
there.
though when I
Thanks.
came home, I said, "Well, Jordan Knight just gave me the night of my life," and I put him on the free hall pass list. So he's
wow.
back on. He was on when I was 8. He's back on
You know,
now.
what's funny is a long time ago, I thought out of all of them, Jordan Knight was my favorite.
Yeah.
He was. And then,
Mine too.
and then something happened. I saw him in an interview. I don't know. This must be within about the past couple of years. I'm like, you're a douche.
He is. I think I watched
like,
the same one
well,
today.
I
I've
don't-
been stalking him for the last 2 days
That's what Erin
online.
said as he walked out. She's like, I don't know.
He was kind.
It was
But
interesting.
it was an
kinda
interview. Just
douchey.
his attitude.
Yes, yes.
Wait,
Was he-
Didn't he release a solo album a couple years ago?
I've read his whole bio.
Oh, geez, of course.
So over the last 2 days,
Like it?
I
So
really can't. I mean, I stalk people too. So.
he,
I have a new
yes,
stalk.
he's actually had a very successful solo career. None
well,
of
he
which I
seems like he doesn't
followed.
have balls.
But he's
Yeah.
had a very successful kind of. He's won awards.
Leave
He's
Elder
gone
Barge out of
platinum. He's gone gold. Like he's
All
done.
right.
So he's been successful. I think one of the only ones
Well,
that has.
Joey
has
had
done
a
some
Joe
stuff.
McIntyre career, didn't
Yeah.
he? He
Right.
dropped the Y.
Now, isn't Joey the one who came out?
No,
That's
no.
John Knight.
Jonathan Knight?
Jordan's brother.
I thought Joey did.
I kind of
no.
felt bad
Joey's
for
married.
Jonathan Knight
Why?
and Drew Lachey.
Why?
Oh, they're the ugly brothers that
they're
were just kind of
yeah.
there.
They
I always thought.
want to go along.
Oh,
with
I
it.
always thought Donnie Wood was the ugly.
Danny
guy.
Wood.
Danny Wood out of that whole
Yeah.
group.
He's real ugly.
Yeah.
But he can
Yeah.
break dance.
He like a
That's
champ.
why they
Right.
keep him there. I
He
think.
he did some
sure.
break dancing.
Okay. Well, apparently, if you can break
Well,
dance.
his bio,
Sure, that's your
read
free
that
pass.
one too. That he does their choreography, which I loved
Oh, yeah.
hysterically because their
It was
choreography though is
1990
like
choreography. Oh yeah.
one arm,
Yep.
lift the other arm,
Oh,
Go
oh,
across.
and the song like this, either arm finger up or like this.
Yes,
Are
it
they,
was
are they all
every
with
song.
Janet Jackson mics? Or
No.
No.
No. Handheld.
But I'm telling you, and I love that we're getting to talk about this again because I've told every single person that will
I figured this
listen.
whole show was going to be about
I've
this. is what I
literally
figured.
told every person that will listen, including my poor mother. I gave her like the 25-minute extended version of everything
Because
that
it was
happened.
amazing. It
Best
was
night of my
magical
life.
night. It was a magical night.
Magic.
Well, and it started with truly. I've seen a lot of concerts, especially since being with this one. We go to concerts a lot. I didn't realize, but Boyz II Men, maybe best group I've ever seen perform
Crazy.
live.
Yeah, they
crazy,
were
crazy,
amazing.
good.
Ever amazing. As good as they were then. It was live singing.
Energy
New
was-
kids, not always.
Black
so
don't
good.
crack. That's
No.
why. They
Well,
still tighten
They
together.
were
Amazing.
fucking amazing.
And we couldn't figure out why. I mean, unless it was some horrible flip of the coin, why 98 Degrees didn't open and spend like 10 minutes.
Oh, like-
and then
yeah, because
Yeah, here
were
you
they?
are, and then
Right.
blamp up, and then
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
was surprised by that also.
yeah, I thought that was like, oh, that's too bad.
But and it's funny, everyone I've been talking to has said the same thing that
they were
when
incredible.
Boys to Men love them.
Yeah, and then the middle part.
Okay, so aside from all of that, which I know we're going to go over and over and over and over, and then probably over again before we're done with this, and Al is praising Jesus that he's not
poor
here
you,
this week.
that it's you and like all three girls.
No, but the funny is, but I like.
Marn just went because I.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, don't get me wrong. I liked some of their stuff and stuff. And again, Jordan Knight, I thought was a cutie back then, but I never followed them. They just weren't
Right.
my deal. Wasn't
Yeah.
my deal at all. So aside from that on Sunday, anything of note in the past week for you?
I've been dancing my ass off.
With the, right?
Had a girl.
And it's like coming together. It's really fun.
What are we, 2 weeks away?
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
So it's really fun to watch.
Dancing with the
how-
Bars, in
Dancing
case
with the
we're talking
Bars.
about dancing.
KatieJune.com.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah. You can make a contribution.
Don't you love having that,
I
that
do.
easy? That easy?
It's so lovely.
I love that.
Me too. But so it's really fun to watch how it comes together. You know, Sean teaches me this step and then this step, and I don't really get it until now we're doing the full dance, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't
It all
believe you just
comes
taught me a
together,
dance.
right.
Yeah, so it's really fun.
Good.
So there's that. I've also experimented with some baking today.
Yeah.
So
Is it gluten free?
Does Laura have anything to do with these?
don't
Oh, that's the wrong. I would have come from you. I'm sorry, Marnie.
don't
Where are
get too crazy on the yet. I
Okay.
really want you guys to taste all of them, and then I'll tell you what's up.
Taste
Okay.
all of them. Like we
Or
have to take a
taste-
sample of each one.
Everybody gets
Is there
one.
aspartame in them?
There's literally nothing bad.
Well,
no
that wasn't
tells you
the
something.
question.
That's all I care about. Just aspartame.
No.
Okay.
No. Not at all.
She takes one.
Thank you.
God, give me
I'm like,
that.
I don't give a
Okay.
shit. What else is in
All right, I'll
there?
take this. All right.
Are we all taking a bite right now together?
Sure,
You
I think
could.
we should. So,
We
There's
should
frosting
too.
on it and
so
everything.
you could
Yeah, they're
explain
frosted.
a little more about this then while we're all taking
not
a
till we
look.
take
Some
a
of
bite.
it might. I'm just really curious to know your thoughts.
It smells good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's coconut in there.
I should have asked.
So
You don't like coconut?
nope. So it would be delicious, I think, Katie. Good job.
Set it down.
I love coconut.
I do too.
I also love coconut.
Eat up.
Is there cilantro?
It's actually really.
There's no cilantro. No.
That's actually
a
minus
lot
the
of
coconut
coconut.
taste. It's actually pretty good if I can. Yeah.
Well, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you say it's not, because I had a little bit of a. Kelly was more into it than I was. I had a little bit of a hard time.
What's the?
Oh, I love the coconut.
So
What are the other backing flavors that I'm
yeah,
experiencing?
exactly. So our new diet,
Oh shit!
yeah, is
Jesus Christ!
we are now paleo.
I was
as
gonna say,
of
is this
Monday.
paleo?
Okay.
I
What
was
does that
like,
even mean?
It's trendy. Just
You
go
eat
with it.
what hunters and gatherers
Yeah.
ate.
It's
so you
trendy.
can eat like seeds and beans.
Well, no, actually,
don't
no
really know.
beans.
I
You
don't really
can't-
know.
It's so weird. It's so weird. No grains. It's totally gluten free. It's totally dairy free.
Right.
It's
Ugh,
Is there bat guano in this by any odd chance? I don't just
Do you
checking.
want to know what it is?
Well,
It's
maybe I
almost
don't.
exclusively like coconut products. So
that would
yeah.
explain my.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna
it's
get-
her aversion.
coconut flour,
What-
cocoa,
what Bruno Mars tastes
a little
like.
bit of salt. Yeah. I know. A little bit of salt and a little bit of baking soda, and then eggs you can eat because you could
you could have
gather
chickens and-
eggs.
right?
You can eat chicken. Very limited, like red meat,
Right.
pork, like really limited.
There's red meat in here?
fish. No, no,
Oh.
fish.
Ground
But in
steak.
there, and then there's just eggs. Coconut oil
Right.
is what you use.
I've got enough fucking oil on my
for,
finger.
I know it's really greasy.
I could lube a sewing machine.
And then the
Jesus.
chocolate frosting, which freaked me out a little bit,
think
is
it's a legend.
vegan. Is vegan like Caro?
I was gonna ask if it was Caro. Yeah,
Yeah.
or something like that. But
Why can't you put Nutella on it?
I don't. I think there's probably something in there
I don't
I'm not
think
supposed
that's
to have.
paleo.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back to
it
my-
is the trendiest, most asinine, ridiculous
Mine
thing
was
that
So
we're doing.
delicious.
Ooh, Marn loves those.
Oh my god.
I love them too.
But
Would
let
you like some?
me tell you something that's really interesting.
Please continue on.
It's been I know because I know you love it. It's really interesting. No, like I've been. You can have wine. Thank you, Jesus. No gluten, no nothing. And I was on Monday morning, like 4.5 pounds heavier than I am currently at right now. I've lost 4.5 pounds, and I know that some of it is just like I gorged over the weekend. I like
Sure,
every
sure.
weekend I'm like eating bad and
Again,
drinking
what
bad.
do you call this? Paleo?
Paleo.
Paleo. Paleo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's
Okay, and you started
gluten-free,
what day?
dairy-free.
What day?
Monday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's
Yes.
Tuesday.
So are we at 24 hours yet?
We're at no. I started Monday morning, so I woke up on Monday and had a
Okay, so
smoothie.
we're at 36 hours.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm
Approximately.
Down. I'm gonna carry the one. I gotta.
We'll find out next Tuesday.
Well, I'll let you know when
I
we're
think
gonna
it's
find out later in the
fantastic.
show.
I
I
get
think.
it.
yeah, I'm trying it for 2 weeks. I want to be at a peak physical performance for Dancing with the Bars.
I'm very excited.
So
Very good.
there
So
you have
the
it.
Monday after Dancing with the Bars, we're all going to Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
All right.
Could happen.
Marn, updates from you.
I don't think that there are any.
Okay, so we've shot our wad on New Kids, and that's what you're doing, right? That's okay. Got it.
That was her highlight.
I didn't.
It feels like there was more.
I'm sure there
Well, we
was.
saved some dogs last night.
We did save some dogs and didn't end up keeping them.
Either one of them.
Done. There's no Patty Hearst, Al.
You put them in somebody else's house.
Actually, it would have been Patrick
Did you give
Hearst.
them to Elaine down the
We
river?
reunited them with their dad.
And it feels
And it feels so good.
good.
Damn it! Oh, I thought
Get
I was
out of each
misunderstood.
other's heads.
No, no Billy Ocean. No Billy Ocean.
Sorry.
Because they'll never go away.
No.
Bastard.
Get out of my car.
Okay, so tell the story of the dogs briefly.
Well, there were these two dogs. And I went out to do something in the front yard, and I see these two dogs walking, and I was like, "Oh fuck! Please have a human."
Because
have a human.
Marnie's partner believes in dog karma very strongly. Every time I see a dog, I have
Unlike
to.
Al.
I'm really
I
glad
have
actually
to
Al's
save
not
it.
here. He'd literally fight you.
I know.
Yeah, he'd pull a Michael Vick.
Oh, not funny.
It is to him.
No.
So I'm making him laugh out east.
But he's not listening right now.
Yeah, he is. I bet.
He's at Show Tunes.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, so I save dogs whenever I see a stray. We have to and I have my wonderful partner now does the same thing because it means a lot to me.
Yes. And that is why. No, but that came out wrong. I was reading. And that's exactly why it's true. But they were just walking and they seemed so sweet, and I thought, well, I have to go over there. So I did, and they were so sweet. And
Oh my God.
needless to say, flash forward, we get the leashes. There was a collar, wrong number, so we were going to take them to see if they were chipped. We get them in the car.
Are these the ones you posted in the car?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
those.
yeah.
And the first thing I thought was people are going to think they're locking dogs in cars.
I'm stealing dogs and locking them in my car.
No, we had so they were in the car, and the two of us, like I have the 4, and 2 of which really not car dogs. Well, 1 for sure, Rudy. He's a little chaotic in the car, and her Rocky just a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
So between the two, we look back at these two who just met us 2 minutes ago, and they're asleep.
They
like,
jump
arms laid
over
out.
each other to get in the car. They're just sitting
Yeah.
up looking at us like whatever.
Yeah.
Harold, the big black dog.
We learned later.
leans-
Oh, I was going to
leans
say,
his
God
head up.
damn it, they're naming the
No,
dogs.
we know.
like
Well,
four.
No, Marnie named them Butch and Sundance.
Okay, cute,
That's
cute.
actually cute.
But Harold Butch puts his head on my shoulder from the back seat.
So cute.
Like just what's up there?
Yeah, they were really quite something. And we called Joan Green to get a little help because Joan's the dog savior, really. And so I was like, I have no idea what to do, and it was just wonderful because we get them back. They were not chipped. We
Okay.
get them back, and
By the way, in
Yeah.
case people are listening, if you find a dog, where do you take them?
Yeah, how do you
So
find out if they're chipped?
hopefully they have some sort of identification, and even if it's the Maricopa County, that you call the phone number on there, enter the tag number, and it should link you to hopefully a good phone number
right
for the
number,
person.
yeah.
And if you have animals out there, please make sure that phone number is good with Maricopa County,
update it.
and keep on it. So then you take them to the vet if you can safely get them in the car, safely
Well,
have
clearly
them.
yours
I'm
wanted to
so
drive.
scared of
Yeah, they
right?
did. They really did.
No, like,
I'm like really freaked when I see a stray dog.
Yeah, I
was chased by one time, and
Yeah.
I'm really. It was years ago, but it's
Doesn't
in my
matter.
head.
Yep.
I am panicked.
You should never walk up. I mean, like, I just kept kind of walking toward him. I'm like, hi, guys. And I wasn't kind of looking at him,
Oh, I will not look.
Yeah.
I won't make eye contact. Nothing. I was like
see.
rollerblading in my neighborhood, and there was a dog across the street, and it tore after me. A woman who was driving by pulled over and was like, "Get in, real quick." I was petrified.
Right.
It was very scary.
Well, my Rocky, if he ever got out, he chases anything on wheels, bikes, scooters, skateboards. So it would have been similar.
Right.
But so if you can safely get them in your car, you can take them to any vet office. You just walk in and say, "I found this dog. Will you scan them for chip?" Anyone will scan them for free.
Right.
We ended up taking these two to PetSmart.
Banfield,
Banfield.
right?
Okay.
Because they're
Okay,
open
got it,
later,
got
and
it.
then hopefully you can reunite it with its owner. If it's after 6 o'clock at night, you're kind of in a rough spot after 5 or 6 because shelters are closed and Maricopa County Animal Control's closed. So
Okay.
you've got to figure out for the night what to do with the dog or dogs, and then you can call Maricopa County in the morning or call somebody who will watch the dog. Okinawa's in. Did you see that?
I did just see that. Okinawa. Hello, Okinawa.
Okinawa. So anyway.
Okay, so then you get them scanned. How did you get them back to the owners?
Well, that was just luck because we took them back to her house, and I was just planning on taking them to my house and just having them in the backyard separated.
But you found them close to her house or
Yeah.
yours?
My
Okay, got it. All right.
Only because she couldn't keep them at hers.
Right,
And
with-
so
with Rocky.
Yeah. So we were.
And that
we
other
were
one
going
you
to
had.
take them, little Pongo.
Yeah, Pongo.
We were going to take them to my house, and we just sat out front for a little bit. And
I
this
gave him some
guy-
food and water. Yeah, their
This
owner walked
guy
right
came
up.
back and was like, "You have my dogs?" And just kind of because we were in the front yard. And,
Except then we walked them to his house because they were still on my leashes. And the guy had like a hole in his front of his house, like just where hot air just goes in, just not like a window open, but just like a big open hole. And then he opened the door and it was like maybe an episode of
Hoarders.
with maybe like it was hot,
gonna
no
say-
air conditioning. And then he comes over to thank us like 2 minutes later with 12 fresh eggs from his chickens. So maybe he's like off the grid a little bit. I
Maybe.
don't know.
could be.
But now
a hole though. That's weird.
I'm
Like,
just
it's
going to
in
tell
your
you
house.
that don't
Yeah.
be surprised if the dogs come back with little suitcases. They're like,
They might.
Hey, we were
Daddy
actually
said,
looking for you.
Daddy said
Right.
we could stay with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You have air conditioning.
Right.
At least in the car, they know we do.
Right.
So, but they were really sweet.
Very
that
cool.
big black lab.
There you are saving dogs and,
Yeah.
well, not cats so much, but dogs. Well, you're the one who
I
saved
would.
cats.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Okay, Okay, so is that your big? Are we?
Well, I have another big.
Go.
But cool
I
about
went
the chicken
skydiving
eggs.
on Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow!
I got pushed out of a plane.
Jump out of a
strapped
perfectly
to a
good
person,
running plane. Why?
130 miles an hour, and they didn't tell us that till after we got on the ground.
Now, how high were you?
13,000
Where did you go?
feet.
So if you divide that
Eloy.
by 5,280, that gives you the miles.
Right. And so we get 3,000 feet up, and I'm like, God, we're up high. And he's like, we still have 10,000 more to go. I'm like, oh my God. We went with my siblings. My sister.
What did you say? 13,000 what?
13,000 square feet, essentially.
No, not square feet. 30,000 feet up.
13,000 feet high. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 5,280 divided by that's 2.46 miles.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
All right.
So my sister next month is moving to South Africa for a year.
Wow.
And
On
so
purpose?
so
Okay.
she wants to check
You
some
have
stuff
such
off
an
her bucket
adventurous
list.
family.
Peru,
Yeah, I do.
South
I do.
Africa.
So
Dad's creating shit out
A
of
dog
you know
house.
the air and a leaf.
Very cool.
I love it. So she wanted to do this. So my brother and I went with her, and it was fantastic. It was scary and amazing, and I couldn't breathe for a couple seconds, and I didn't know. I was really truthfully afraid I wouldn't fit in the harness because there's a weight limit, and I was a little bit over it.
And you hadn't even been to the concert yet.
Right. And how am I gonna before the concert die in the?
Well, no,
right.
I was thinking that you had seen people who couldn't fit in their harnesses either.
No, wouldn't have fit around their leg.
They couldn't have fit in the plane, sweetheart.
No. But it was great, and it was great bonding with my siblings, and we had a wonderful day. And right.
No, I've heard this from several other people who've done that. Matt Little being one of them. It's like you feel when you come back to the earth and you stand up and you're done. You can do any fucking thing ever in the world.
For about 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" Like the adrenaline was so big that we kind of came down and we're like, my brother gets motion sick. So the second he lands, he runs over and throws up.
Oh, really?
And then I felt
what a way to
woozy,
conquer
and
your fear.
Abby felt woozy. So we all kind of
Well, when you have like one of your party is just barfing,
Right,
there's like
right.
a there can be a chain reaction,
right. But then we kind of pick ourselves back up, and it was really
So tell me
Incredible.
your feeling, right? Because I went to Eloy
Right.
within the last year,
Right.
and when you're climbing, isn't it just like the most intense?
Oh my, so intense.
You're just like, I was panicky but excited, but like totally freaked out,
and almost like not in my present
No.
mind because the thought of jumping out. Who the hell jumps out of planes?
Yeah.
Crazy
these
people.
And then
So
when they
then
have
these-
you at the door,
Or parachuters.
So
or
you pay for
paratroopers.
we paid for photographers. There's one
Right.
photographer who came with each one of us and
Right.
took pictures our whole way. So my lady Diane, hanging out of the plane as it goes fast in the air, that high up, she's hanging on with one hand, taking pictures of me. They have a little mouth camera taking.
it's so cool, yeah.
Right, and then I'm
Like
standing
really,
there.
she's holding the camera with her mouth.
Well, no, that camera's on her helmet.
Oh,
And then she's got a little thing she bites to take pictures.
oh,
take
got
the-
it. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's
that's
cool.
cool. That's very cool.
So then she
I
captures.
should have that while I'm riding my bike.
Yeah, you should.
I'm kidding.
She
Nobody wants to
captures
see.
very accurately my emotions as I get to the door and
Fear?
see like disbelief, fucking crazy fear, and then
Right.
he like points to her and I do my regular like smile, and then
Oh.
he pushes, and all of a sudden I can't breathe.
Isn't it almost like you just kind of go blank?
A blank.
Have you done
like,
it?
Yeah, I
Oh.
went to Eloy and did
Oh,
it.
that's right. Okay,
and
you
I
just said
didn't.
that.
We didn't do the pictures. We did the video.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
great because the videographer the whole time was like, "Okay, make a fun face, like
Right,
do something cool."
right.
Because I was just like this. Oh.
Well, and the
whole
problem with
time
the
down.
video is it's just a whole bunch of this. Like that's all it is for 4 minutes is free fall skin flap. Like
You're totally right. Yeah, no, it's completely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. You need that shit just like captured once and
I
then
know.
forgotten.
I'm done with it.
That may potentially be the name of the show. Free fall skin flap.
So anyway, that was it.
I
That
think
was
that may be.
I cried
I had big-
after we
Yeah.
stopped and we started just like kind of floating.
Right.
I was just so overwhelmed. Just
Well,
like
and it's-
emotionally overwhelmed by what I had
Right.
just experienced. I was totally
and
in
it goes
tears.
from
I cried.
so loud to
Yes.
silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool, I
just
think.
cried. It was so weird.
Oh. How about you, fine sir, Mr.
Yeah,
Well,
what'd you do,
Diego?
sir? Oh, I want to hear your story.
It's really not. It's not the story that everybody thinks it is. Everybody thinks that I went to San Diego Pride and was having just. I had a good time. I certainly won't say that. I mean, it's cooler weather and better boys. I mean, there's no way you can
Can't
get
beat
around that. No.
Where's my belt?
Yeah, right there.
Right.
But I've decided, and I know this goes hand in hand with being older. I'm not going back on Pride.
Yeah.
I will go back on off Pride because it's a lot. I don't have time for lines. I don't have time for fights. I don't have time for exorbitant pricing of cocktails because
Oh, yeah.
they know they can
'cause
rape.
it's Pride.
Because they can rape and
Right.
pillage everybody.
Right.
Not unlike what they do here in town. Like I know bars that have like drink specials on certain days, but during Pride weekend they don't do any of the drink specials because
Or it's like the Pride drink special, and it's like $3 more.
right.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I will tell you, one of the things that I have learned to enjoy, and let me know if any of you have ever tried these. We went to, while we're in San Diego, there are a myriad of bars up and down the main strip in Hillcrest on University. And it's lovely to be able to walk amongst. I wish that I would love, in fact, Michael and I were talking about this the whole time we were there. My friend Michael Mahia that was with me. We were talking about this the whole time. It'd be great if, for example, like on 7th Avenue, which is kind of like the gay strip, if all the bars were there and you could just walk to all of them. But no, of course, we're spread out all over God's half acre. But it was nice to start at one end and be able to bar hop and walk your way to and from, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, it winds up being you're at Phoenix San Diego Pride because everybody that
Sure.
I don't want to stand in San Diego and have drinks with you. I could do that at Charlie's here.
Yeah, we did that
And you'd
last
probably
weekend.
choose not to.
Right. So for the most part, we didn't. So
Yeah.
we kind of didn't. We did hang a little with a few people, which were very. Ed Schomer. God, I love Ed Schomer.
Oh,
is
he
so
is
Oh my,
cute.
and I'll tell you a story about Ed in a minute, which was he just was cracking
Hi,
me the
Ed.
fuck up. So has anybody had a Corona Rita? Do you know what a Corona Rita is? No. Okay.
Sounds like a. Well, tell us what
Well,
it
I will
is.
tell you. I
Sounds
will.
like.
Sounds like.
Sounds like.
Yeah, we're going to do charades.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding,
ding,
right,
ding,
right.
ding.
Alcoholism. So it's a, what a margarita glass, like the big margarita glasses. Well, it's bigger than that. It's a huge margarita glass made with whatever top shelf bullshit. Well, they make the whole fucking margarita and then they put an upside down Corona beer in it. So as you drink it down, the Corona
beer
mixes with the margarita. $28. But
Oh my gosh.
piece.
What?
A piece. A
Hell
piece.
Whoa.
Yeah. So those are pricey, but they're good. They're good.
How does the
Well, they
beer
better
bottle
be
not
delicious.
fall out of the glass?
When you're standing they're better to have
I'm
if
gonna
they're
Google.
sitting. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, Google.
If they're
'Cause I've
sitting
seen
on
the
a table, you're better off because they don't move. But if you're standing in a crowd, you kind of have to hold and hold because otherwise the beer bottle will roll around. So as I was standing there, I was thinking to myself, I should write a letter to Corona, and on their bottles they should have a flat spot
They
built
should.
into the bottle so that when they serve look, that's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Google-
So the glass is just gigantic enough
Gigantic.
that it will
Right.
hold the
Okay.
So
bottle.
that
With a
as you
straight up
drink,
margarita.
the margarita, the beer blends in together.
And it's tasty?
Oh, it's enjoyable. I will tell you that. Yeah. So we go through that. We go to all the other places. This line, that line, blah blah blah. Well, that was all well and good, and we did it for a few days. And I learned something else I will talk about here in a minute called Uber Cab, which was fantastic, and I will share that with you. But what really got to me was at the end of Sunday. So like these kids have been partying Wednesday, Thursday, because their Pride starts kind of on a Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Sunday afternoon, I was ready to come home Sunday morning. I really was. But we'd already paid for the hotel. Screw it, we're staying. I was really surprised, starting in the afternoon on Sunday, how many fights started.
Oh.
Really?
Because typically you don't, and I realize that bars do, and I'm going to paint with a broad brush here. I noticed that there are a lot more fights in lesbian bars for some weird
sure.
reason
Well, 'cause
than
all
gay
the
bars.
Fucking
Testrogen.
testrogen.
Right. So I'm not being discriminatory. I'm
And
just
Wranglers, quite frankly.
Well, they're so tight.
And
You're-
Coors
you
Light.
can't breathe.
Testrogen, Coors Light, Wranglers.
Bingo.
Done.
Unintentional racism. So
or something.
Intentional.
So I was at Fiesta Cantina and some guy goes nuts and takes out 4 bouncers from Fiesta.
What?
Like lays them out.
Like drugs?
I
Like
don't-
on
drugs,
something?
Bath
I don't-
salts.
I don't-
They eat somebody's
Bath
face
salts.
off.
I don't know. Takes like 4 of them out and nobody can subdue him. So 8, like I'm gonna say 8 from the bar across the street run over and it takes all of them to get him to the ground.
Oh my god.
They get him to the ground. The cops are there in like 2.2 seconds, like not minutes. Like they're on it. They're right
Sure.
there. Cuff him, take him off. So there, they disrupt all that. At the same bar, 3 or 4 more fights are thrown out just while we're there. Just like somebody got stupid on the dance floor, somebody did whatever.
Oh my
So I'm like,
God.
Jesus, let's go. So we're gonna walk down the street. So we move on and we walk on down, and we don't go to Moe's because it was busy. We go back to Flicks, and again, it's wonderful to be able to walk in beautiful weather all that way.
so nice,
So we
yeah.
get to Flicks, and it was fun. It was karaoke, and they were all annihilated, but we didn't care. So we're sitting on the patio of Flicks, and this is where Ed Schomer comes into the party. Ed Schomer is on the front patio of Flicks on the other side of the security fence, not drinking. He drank enough. He's flagging people in as they walk by. He's like, hi, come in, do your thing. He's flagging everybody in, and he's making up bullshit drink specials. That they're like, well, hey, because they don't know him. They think he works there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like, hey, what's your drink specials? And he's like, oh my God, Coors Light is like $1. Or whatever. He's just making up shit. And then at one point, he was kicking his leg and doing something, and somebody reached out to touch his leg, and he goes, no, it's a prosthetic. He was cracking us up. It was Ed Schomer. He was so fun. So then we end Flicks, and this is where I decided I am too old for these events. Plus, it's a bar that's not mine. Do any of you know what Rich's is?
Yes.
In San Diego.
Rich's, I know Flickas, but
It's like the
Flicks or whatever.
Rich's is the
dance club.
It's the hardcore dance club.
Okay.
It's the circuit boys. It's the shirtless boys with bottles of water and lollipop on ecstasy.
Yeah.
It's all of that. Okay.
No, we were not there.
Not my deal. Not my deal. But
Right.
but that's
I
where
have had a few fun nights there.
and maybe,
though.
but probably not during Pride where they're just really over the top.
Right.
So I go and I get there and I walk through and I didn't realize that there was a back side of the bar, which the real big dance floor was. Okay. So I walk back there and I see two guys that are from Phoenix. I hate it when you walk into people and you see them, and I assumed they were good kids. I didn't know. And I find out immediately that he said something. He goes, oh my God, we're rolling so hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's a good time. He goes, no, like on Coke. And I find out that people are like
Oh my
strung
God,
out.
what is this, 1984?
Yeah, no, and these are 22, 3-year-old kids. I didn't understand. This is close to 2 a.m. God damn, we're running so late. Anyway, close to 2 a.m., they push everybody out of the bar at the end of the night. They don't fuck around there. Their deal in California is they cut you off at 5
Get out.
till
Oh.
and out the door, and you're done at 2. There's no lag time. There's no fucking around. They're done. Well, these two, I walk out on the patio, run into one of them. The other one had walked down the block. This is where the posting I put on Facebook about where I had to break. I actually broke up a fight.
Yes, that's what I saw.
How did I miss
They're
that?
standing next to
missed
me.
it.
They're standing next to me, and the other one comes back, and he's tweaked out of his mind. And he's like, what the fuck are you? Why aren't we leaving? Da, la, la, la. And the other one's like, I'm not ready to go. I'm okay. And he points to me, and he goes, oh, now you're going to drag him into this too? And I'm like, I am not involved in this.
Whoa.
So I step 2 feet over and lean on a parking meter. And before I know it, he's waylaying the other one against a car. So I grab the little one. Two other guys grab him. We're trying to pull them apart. We get them apart, and they're like 10 feet apart. And we think, okay, this is good. Nope, he comes at him again. Have you ever punched a watermelon and the sound of a watermelon when you hit it?
Nope.
But I'm totally gonna go get one.
Right, but he was hitting. He was hitting the kid.
Yes, I get that reference.
He was hitting the kid so hard. That's what it sounded like. It was
Oh,
horrible.
my God.
It took all of the security people from them to pull him off a second time and subdue him. Again, cops got there, ambulance, fire truck, all this shit, and I'm like,
my God.
I gotta get the fuck out of here. This is not my deal, not my scene. I want out.
And you said these two were friends?
Friends from Phoenix.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'll be curious.
Friends traveling together.
Friends, acquaintances.
just so coked out that
Oh no,
they
they
couldn't.
hang out all the time together.
So fucked up. They couldn't
Right. So
even.
one, I'm assuming, was arrested. The one that did the other one left town and immediately head back to Phoenix to find a dentist. Because come to find out, he lost teeth.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
What a bunch of shit. So again, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go during the off parties.
Yeah. Hashtag not fun.
Yeah, not as fun.
Nope.
You
Not
can
fun.
go with us like in 2 weeks.
No,
I don't have
next
time.
week, babe. Next week.
Next week, I
Yeah.
mean.
I'll be here for a while. I got dancing with the bars.
Yeah.
I got other things to
Oh,
do.
wait. So do we.
We'll be here for
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah, we're back.
I have seats for you.
Oh,
Yay! That makes me happy. Thank
And for
you.
Al. So I'm really.
Fine. Oh, what?
Well, I was just wondering if there might
We
be
can
one
talk
more that we can
logistics
talk
later.
about.
We'll get that, yeah.
One more. Into.
Yep. If they're gonna vote for me, then yes.
It's
Last-
it's Mama Di.
Last little thing about San Diego. Unfortunately, my friend Michael, because we stayed in the same hotel room.
Sure.
What's it called? Sleep apnea, where you stop breathing in the middle of sleep. I haven't slept since I got there Friday.
Oh, because he was just snoring.
He couldn't, because I
Yeah.
would freak out. I would wake up because he would be, that gasping for air and
Right,
that whole
right.
thing freaked me out. Didn't sleep. So there's sleep deprivation. There was partying. There was this. There was a lot going on.
Oh.
But it's beautiful weather and better looking boys. So there's that.
Yeah.
My God. So that's it. Well, boy, we've taken 44 minutes to do all of our catch up on what we're doing.
New
It was the new
kids.
kids. I know. The new kids will do it to you.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to
Or
that, I'm
us,
sure,
really.
in just a few minutes.
Really,
Yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
we're coming back with headlines. We have so much more to do. We have the Death Watch with, I'm sure, we'll bring up all kinds of things this week because nobody's gleeful about that.
Nope.
We've got sports, headlines, entertainment, and much, much more coming up. It's the show on Q Talk America. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
I'm straight.
I'm gay.
I'm bisexual.
And I give a damn about equality.
Want to know why?
Because one hate crime is committed approximately every hour of every day in this country.
Imagine walking down the street and wondering if this is the day you'll get beaten up or even killed simply because of who you are.
Because many gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender teens who come out to their parents are thrown out of their homes.
Imagine confiding in the people you trust most, only to be rejected and tossed out with no place to go.
Because during the past 16 years, over 13,000 men and women have been discharged from the military for being gay.
Imagine being willing to sacrifice your life to protect and defend this country, only to be kicked out of the military because of who you love.
These are just a few of the reasons why we care about equality.
It is time for things to change.
We all have to get involved.
We all have to give a damn.
I give a damn.
Do you?
Join us at wegivadamn.org to learn more.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Okay, here we go with a few glorious headlines on this Tuesday night. Forgive my voice. I think the change of weather between San Diego and Phoenix is what did me in. A woman is diagnosed with having ghetto booty.
2 guys, 20 years, terminal illness, and a Baltimore tarmac.
Well, that is not what the song says.
Ass whooping by New Kids on the Block fans.
Iceberg dead ahead. Nope, just soap suds.
Those Westboro fuckers are at it again.
Courteous robber agrees to leave the pie behind.
I need my gun more than ever.
And cabs are going to be charging for passengers to vomit in them. Oh. I mean the cleanup. I mean the cleanup of that. Not. I worded. Okay.
I'd like to pay $10 to vomit in your cab, please.
Excuse me, can I vomit in this cab?
Oh, look, we're going to pay to puke.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No. Oh, my God. That was so funny. I just read the headline completely wrong. Oh, I love it. Dear God. Well, that was funny. All right. Well, a Tennessee woman coping with severe lower back pain has endured even more pain when the doctor diagnosed her with having ghetto booty. I believe I put this story on our Facebook, I think. If not, if you Google ghetto booty in news, you'll see the story. A woman by the name of Terry Ragland, who's 55 years old, could not believe the words coming out of Dr. Swio's mouth during an April appointment at a sports orthopedics and spine center in Jackson, Tennessee. He said, "I know what the problem is. It's ghetto booty." Ragland told WREG News in Memphis. She says, "I think I blacked out after he said ghetto booty. I think my mind was just stuck on the phrase because I couldn't believe that he actually said it." Swio had diagnosed Ragland with lumbar lordosis, but decided to take a less technical approach with explaining what it is by then calling it ghetto booty. He later wrote an apology to her after she complained to an office manager. To make matters worse, Swio told her that there was no remedy for her condition, even though she could manage it with pain medication. Apparently what happened... She's a heavier black woman.
Does she like dick?
Sure.
I don't,
No, I'm just curious.
I'm going to assume yes.
Maybe.
She said that it says to me, the way that he explained it says to me that he doubts what type of intellect I have, how intelligent I am, and the ability to understand what he's conveying to me in medical terms. The doctor admitted off camera to the news station that he said ghetto booty to her, who has filed a formal complaint with the state's health department. She did, rather. Well, it's interesting, but what the deal is, and I think a lot of people understand, she has the weight problem, and because of the curvature of her ass sticking out, basically, it's causing a real hard bend in the spine. It's causing her back pain. So, and the reason I would wonder about this, and I know people who have back pain, and girls are a prime candidate because heavy breasts do that. It makes your back. Yeah. You have to bend your back, and it causes you horrible back pain.
Sure.
But he said there's no cure. You just either have to.
She could do side bends and sit-ups.
But sure please don't lose that butt.
Ding, ding. Oh! Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
I wasn't expecting that
there.
at all.
I wasn't there.
But we're always there. We're New Kids fans.
But I thought it was interesting that he opted to go to ghetto booty than saying that she has a lumbar lordosis.
But here's what I think. I kind of feel like she just needs to calm the fuck down a little bit. Like the fact that it has to be news. Like, so you had a doctor, he was a dick. Tell him he's a dick. Like, write him a letter and be like, "You're an asshole. Peace out. You just lost a customer or you lost a patient. Right. Like, I'm not coming back to you and I'm telling all my friends not to come back to you." At what point do you call the news station and get them involved? I just don't get it. Like, I went to Target the other week to try to return a suitcase that the wheel busted off. The woman was a total sea bag, and she wouldn't like return the thing.
You mean D-bag?
That's an Okinawan.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was an Okinawan.
right.
Whatever. And I'm not there. I'm not there yet. And but anyway, she was rude. I left in my head going, I effing hate you. And then that was it. And I told Kelly, and I said, I'm going to write a letter. I'm so pissed. She was really, really super rude. But it's not on the news.
Sure.
Well, so when I was in like late high school, so let me back this up. My mom. My mom is of Russian Jewish descent. So couple that with my hair color, and I'm a hairy beast. And so I have hair, and
I'm sure where we're going with this.
I have, as
Uncomfortable?
some girls do, like facial hair a little bit. And It's gross, and I hate it. And so I went to So I went to a doctor end of high school, maybe even beginning of college, for this, because there's a term. It's like I don't know how to say it, but it's where furry.
Yeah.
Well, so he's going on, and he's like, well, we can try this cream, and you can try this, and I said, well, and what if that doesn't work? And he says, you can always join the circus as the bearded lady. Not taken well by me.
Right.
So it doesn't make the news, but you bet your ass I wrote a letter to the practice, to him, to the Better Business Bureau, to the medical board in Arizona, and I got a response from the Better Business Bureau apologizing. And then I got the official file from this guy, and he said something in it like he thought I could take a joke or something. Like, what? Who the hell are you? Yeah. So it doesn't make news, but it hurts, and so fuck you, doctor.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Like coming from the patient side, and she was obvious. This woman was obviously very upset.
Right. If you're already self-conscious about it, I got a big ass. I'm self-conscious about it. Maybe I don't need a medical professional to tell me.
That's actually
you got a big ass.
No.
We're now sponsored by No. The hair removal.
Oh my God! Can I have a free one?
No. The other thing in this story, when I watch it, the doctor actually said to the news station off camera that the definition of ghetto booty just means that it sticks out. They looked up it. There's no definition.
No,
not even Urban Dictionary.
She looked up Webster's, according to them.
Well, it's not going to be in there yet.
There you go, Marn.
Yes. Well, there are two gentlemen who have been together for 20 years.
Oh. Wish I had someone that's tender.
Well, yes. 20 years together, and one of them has a terminal illness, ALS. If you guys are familiar with Lou Gehrig's disease,
right.
And so his dying wish is that he wanted to be able to get married to his partner.
Okay.
But moving him is a really big deal because it's so painful.
Right.
Like every little bit of that is very, very
So have you
painful.
signed up to go do it?
I did. I'm flying out there tomorrow.
Oh my God! I was like, "What? That's amazing!" Okay, right.
I would have. By the way, I so would.
Yeah.
I know you would.
I mean, in a heartbeat. But anyway, someone else asked me to marry. Digress. So anyway, this what they did was they
who was she?
figured out
I'm a fucking cutter.
relaxation, breathe. As far as this goes, they decided where. New York was too far. There were so many things because they're in Ohio. And so they went to Baltimore, and they had to get married on the tarmac because as far as they were in Baltimore, they were in Maryland at that point. And so because Ohio not permitting same-sex marriage, friends, there was $12,700 that it cost for this chartered flight with medically equipped private plane. And so it was made, Crossroads Hospice was a big part of it. In donations and friends and family. The gift was just this perfect day, and that's what they have, a perfect day fund for their terminally ill patients. And so once they touched down in Baltimore, they married in a 7.5-minute ceremony. It was very quick. And
so did they actually get out of the plane?
No,
they just stayed in the plane
because it was just too big. He couldn't have left.
Couldn't move, right?
Wow.
Too much.
So, pretty big deal. I thought that was just a really neat story.
That's cool.
2 decades later.
So cool that all of those organizations got together too, and friends and family to donate and contribute to help make that happen.
But if you don't want to donate to that cause, you can donate to katiebean.com.
Dancing with the Bars. She will do good with money.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Clayton, before you start your next
Yeah.
story,
UrbanDictionary.com.
Yeah. So, a woman with an extremely large size gluteus maximus, the exceptionally formed buttocks of a woman, usually black, often Latin, rarely white, never Asian, that strains the normal aesthetic boundaries of size, shape, and proportion. A big booty that when you turn your back, people say, "Damn, that's a nice ass." And then here are some synonyms. Booty, ass, butt, junk in the trunk, badonkadonk. Ghetto, big ass, fat, behind, bottom, bubble butt, fat ass, apple bottom, bootylicious, bum, rump, badonkadonk again, because needs to be said twice. Thick donk and fat ass with a PH.
And
PH,
certainly,
fat like Cindy Crawford.
no sushi. No
Boom.
sushi here.
No.
Never Asian.
Never
Never
Want.
Asian.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Standing in Urban Moe's to go with your badunkadunk, because I'm going to say it a third time. Standing there, we're standing in line for drinks at one point. Now remember, if you know who Michael is, his nickname is Booty.
Booty.
Yeah, Booty, right. So I'm standing there in my jeans that I know accentuate the positive.
Yeah,
He's-
you got the
and
you got
he's-
the booty.
you do.
He's next to me.
Badonkadonk.
So all of a sudden there's a tap on my shoulder and this guy's like, "Oh my God, you have a great ass." And I'm like, "Well, thanks. Have you seen his?" And he turns around and he's like, "Oh my God." And he's like bringing people to see his ass. It's very
That's
funny to
very
me.
funny.
That is great. That's gonna that kind of makes you feel good. I mean, I think if someone told me like, "Damn," I'd be like, "What?"
And honest to God,
Let me shake it for you.
And honest to God, I was standing there and a woman comes up to me. Actually, there were two different ones. The first one said I looked like. Another woman came up to me and she's like, "I can't believe you're here." I'm like,
It's cute.
"I can't believe I am either." What? And she's like, You're George Michael.
Oh,
She totally
stop
did.
it.
And I'm like,
Oh.
I'm like, no. She's like, "Oh my God, you are," because we were all been standing over there for the longest time. We wanted to come and talk to you. I'm like, no, it's not. She's like, "You are." She goes, "I just think it's so cool. You're just here hanging out in San Diego."
You
And I'm
are.
like,
She's telling you. Yes, you are.
"Oh no," she's like,
Yes, you are.
This is what I went through 20 years ago when I used to have to show ID on airplanes to prove that I wasn't him.
Oh my God, Clayton.
She was
that's
like,
awesome.
"Oh my God, you're." So
How fun that
I
it's
showed her-
happening now
I showed
again.
her pictures of me from 20 years ago, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's you." She's like, "That's who you look like." I'm like, "No, that's me."
Yeah,
It was very funny, very flattering and funny to me.
that's fun.
Roseville, Minnesota.
Oh.
Authorities say a St. Paul man accused of robbing a couple leaving a Roseville grocery store took nearly everything. Credit cards, cash, identification, and just about all of their groceries because he was a douchebag. A criminal complaint says that a man named Jason Armstrong posed as a grocery store employee collecting cards, and then when he jumped in the backseat of the couple's car outside of Roseville Cub Foods last month, it says Armstrong took the couple's possessions at gunpoint, but granted one request from the woman. She wanted to keep the pie crust and strawberries so she could make a pie for Father's Day. He left the berries and crust behind and then fled on foot. The Star Tribune says Armstrong is due in court on Monday on aggravated robbery and kidnapping. At press time, it was not known whether he had representation.
I have been to that Cub, as a matter of fact.
Have you really?
I sure have.
Well, be careful.
Well,
if you go back,
apparently. I'll be a ninja.
Yeah, well, sure.
Well, I mean, I'll be a ninja then, because I'll be all Minnesotan ninja.
Sure.
God damn. Hey, Okinawa says, by the way, listen to the rest of the show from last week about the blood drive. DOD still won't allow donations from gays.
I didn't realize. I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at
thank you,
that.
Harrison, for knowing
Yeah.
what it's called. What
Harrison?
my hairiness is called.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at that.
I still can't pronounce it.
Hirsutism? Is that hirsut?
Yeah, hirsutism, something along
right.
those lines.
And she also says that as a chiropractor, which Harrison is, she says there are several treatments for ghetto booty. Stupid doctor who says there aren't. There aren't.
Right.
Ass.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of ass, there was an ass whooping.
Uh-oh.
There was an ass whooping. And this will probably upset
You have to pay extra
Aaron's
for it?
sister.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Abby.
no. Poor Abby's boyfriend, in quotes.
Aaron Carter?
Aaron Carter got his ass kicked by New Kids on the Block fans. And I roared.
I knew we were going to come back to this.
What the fuck?
I know.
Roared. Just roared. Yes, so apparently, where are my things?
How long of a story is this?
Not long at all.
Okay, because I was like, we got a break. We got a break.
Can't be long at all.
All right.
It's
Aaron Carter.
It's Aaron Carter. And
Sorry, Ab.
are you from? Sorry, Abby. Do you know who Aaron Carter
I
is?
do. I do.
Okay.
I do.
So he was in Boston. And he's kind of a
And that's
God
New
bless him,
Kids'
but he's-
hometown.
Yeah,
New
Beantown.
Kids' hometown.
Beantown.
And quite frankly, kind of one of those white kids that I think wants to be black is going to be my guess
Oh,
from
yeah.
the Aaron Carter kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm only guessing because of the douchebag hat he has on. Sorry, Abby. But he and the whole article is about how he's like, that's right, I got them boys like back. My knuckles is all bruised, so you know I win or something. I
Hey,
don't know.
Big Brother,
You know
keep
I
it on
win.
the DL.
What
I'm
are
not
you
kidding.
doing?
That's what he said. That's in here.
Is that a quote? Are you
Maybe not direct,
Okay.
but close. Similar. Very similar.
throwing gang signs and shit?
That's
Is that
what he
you
was.
doing?
No, that's what he was doing in this video.
I felt like
thing
that's what
on
you were
here.
doing.
That is not a quote, but it's a thing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it was his after party tour because he sings that song "Jump Jump." I didn't know that. What is that?
Chris
That's
Cross
Chris
will
Cross.
make
Sounds
it.
like Chris
The
Cross.
Jump
One
Jump
of-
singer.
And one of them just died.
Yep, but still dead.
Oh yeah.
I need to see that magazine.
He
for a second.
posted photos, and he got his ass kicked. His eyes and everything else were pretty bruised up. I think my knuckles might be broken, but that's what they get. Carter boasted. People think I'm a pretty little white boy, but no way. I think I won. I'm still standing. Like he took on all these fans.
Still standing.
Yeah.
So, bringing it back to the new kids, beating the shit.
The
out of Aaron
fans,
Carter.
not the new kids themselves, but the fans.
Well, clearly, it's an extension.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that what we were getting back to with new kids?
Is that
He
Nope.
is.
Okay, good.
He's D-baggy.
He really kind of is.
Yeah.
No offense, Abby. But Abby has a picture with him.
I'll pull it up for you.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway.
It's always cool. If you got pictures of
But where do the
celebrities.
fans like come out of nowhere and be like, I'm going to kick your ass because you're mean to the new kids? I don't know.
Grow up. It's not 1987.
88.
Whatever. Don't correct me. I'll kick your ass.
Hey, I got my knuckles.
You be hitting. You be swinging. Oh, it's the end of hour one. It's the show with Clayton McKee. That is me. Thank you for being with us. Everybody listening here on the mainland in the U.S. or abroad, like Okinawa, Japan, Israel, or Saudi Arabia. Wherever. Okinawa is in the house with us.
That's right.
Al, somewhere on the East Coast. We have 2 more hours to go. We got some more headlines coming back with some entertainment, some sports, and a bunch of other stuff. Stick with us, won't you?
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Ooh, good evening again. It's 8:02. It's the beginning of hour 2. It's the show with Clayton McKee. That is me. I'm here along with Katie June, Marnie Ryer, and filling in for Al Perkins this week once again is Aaron Henderson. For those of you that haven't been keeping score at home, Aaron Henderson is the better half of Marnie Ryer, as they.
It's a true story.
I figured if I didn't say that, she would say that.
Lisa
So I'm
has
just gonna.
longer hair.
It's
Yeah.
really a true story.
There's that.
Thanks.
So
Shorter shorts and
she's
longer
filling in with us. And for those of you who've been with us since the very beginning, initially we tried to do a segment where Erin called in from the suburbs.
From the Toque.
And she was our
Reality TV correspondent.
And that just didn't work out well.
No, it worked for like 2 weeks, and then I
So
just
the
listened.
entertainment segment is probably going to be more like that than Al's.
No.
No, but it's just no, back then the delay in the phone sucked and it was horrible to be able to do
Yeah, it
that.
really was.
I'm so nervous.
Now we have it all figured out. We can actually do without having a delay.
Yay,
Like
and I
if
have
I-
real stories this week.
If Al wanted to, we could actually talk to him and there'd be no delay. But I think Al doesn't really give a shit right now. He's singing
He's
show
a
tunes,
show tune karaoke.
singing show
Yeah.
tunes in a bar somewhere in the greater
Show
New
tune
York
party.
area.
Good.
Woo.
Yes. So anyway, drinking word is well. Should we play the disclaimer? Should we just do that and get our drinking word out of the way, or do we want to do more headlines?
Do it.
Oh,
Do
really?
more headlines.
Do what? Do more headlines or do the
I
drinking
think
word
we
first?
feel, we hear our headline and then we know exactly.
Oh, yeah,
where
we got to
it's
hear the
going.
headlines. Go ahead. Headline.
So headlines and then drinking disclaimer in a minute? Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. We can do that. Okay, so we're going to continue on with our headline segments.
Keep drinking at home without a word.
Yeah, and then when we give you
For
the
every word we say, drink.
and then when we finally do give you the word, well, then you'll be ready to go.
That should be 7 drinks.
Oh, you
9,
counting
10,
them?
11, yeah. For every word we say.
Now I'm counting syllables. That should be 7.
Exactly what I was doing.
I'm glad you, as the teacher in the room, caught that. The agency that now, and I'm sure we've all taken cabs everywhere, haven't we all? Somewhere along
Yes.
the way. The agency that oversees St. Louis's taxi industry appears to be getting sick of passengers getting sick in the cabs, and it's looking at charging passengers cleanup fees to pay for the mess. Now, I feel that they are behind times on this because I have been with limo services and cabs, and I mean, I've never gotten sick in one of them, but I know of a lot of other people who have that charge,
including myself,
that charge for these things. I mean, like well, I'm not saying you've ever been sick in it, but have you never heard of somebody who got charged for trashing a cab or a limo?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they're just now getting on board with this. Thank God my home state is really on top of things. Bing, hashtag later. The St. Louis Metropolitan Taxi Commission is considering whether to join various other cities in enforcing taxi cleanup fees when drunken passengers spew or leave other bodily fluids behind. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported this on Monday. The move follows complaints by cab drivers who say it takes hours to clean and disinfect a cab after someone has gotten sick in them, costing them potential fares during the downtime.
Sure.
Now, I just think it's a great idea. They should absolutely do that. Now, they said Chicago already charges a $50, quote, vomit cleanup fee. In Austin, Texas, it's $100 added to any trip fare, no matter what it is or how long it is, if a passenger soils the taxi's interior in any way, shape, or form. Officials with the St. Louis Commission acknowledge the issue can be a tricky one, given that driving inebriated people home, thus keeping them off the roads, is a vital function of taxis. However, it just seems to me that I don't know. If you are that fucked up and you can't hold your liquor, it's another thing. It costs less than a DUI.
Oh, I would absolutely pay. I
if
threw
you're
up
gonna
in a cab once, and I remember giving the cab driver like all of my money. Like I didn't know what to do.
I'm sorry.
I literally just pulled every piece of cash that I had in my possession, which I knew was well over what the fee was, and I was just like, I was crying. I'm like,
now,
and I just like got out and ran home.
Now, I'm gonna segue this story into what I mentioned earlier about Uber Cab. Has anybody heard of Uber Cab?
No. Yes, from what you posted.
UBER. Now, this is a service.
I've heard, but I don't know really.
Let me
anything.
explain this. And I found this out from Matt Little, who's been using it while he's been in LA and in San Diego on business. But it is phenomenal. It's available in Phoenix. Here's how this works. And it kind of eliminates. Remember before when Rainbow Cab was on board with us, and Sue from Rainbow Cab had made comments several times that she's just tired of picking up meth heads. Yeah. You're tired of picking up crazy people and meth heads and druggies and so on and so on. Well, here's what Uber Cab is.
Should just stop picking people up altogether.
It's but this eliminates that really.
Oh.
So Uber Cab is an app you download to your smartphone.
Okay.
UBER Cab. You download it, you sign up, you register. You sign up with a credit card or debit card on file. The beauty of this is not only you can request from wherever you are, wherever. You don't have to give an address. It can tell by your phone exactly if you're standing on a corner in the middle of Winslow, Arizona. There is. I'm using a reference for a song. Like but anywhere, it tells you by GPS where you are. The card is on file. Wow. You designate whether you want a full-size SUV, a black sedan, or they have something called Uber X, which is not available at this point in Phoenix. But Uber X is they then contract with other independent cabs. Oh, okay. Could be like we were picked up by everything from a huge Cadillac Escalade to a Lincoln Town Car, and then one guy picked us up was a college student in a brand new Kia Optima. They're independent contractors. The beauty of it is your card. You agree to the fee or the fare on the app. They then are designated to pick you up. They drive exactly to where you are. They drive you to where it is. It automatically bills your card. You do not tip the cab driver.
Wow.
Really?
Do not. So if you agree to a
why don't you tip the cab driver?
It's paid out of your card.
It's a higher fee.
They've agreed to. Like the lowest we paid was $9 to get from where we were to the hotel. The highest we paid, because it was a huge SUV and there were 4 of us, we paid $30.
But
it's instant. Like
great.
It literally is instant. And on the app, you can see where the cars are moving on the app where they are.
Wow.
So you could be standing. Oh, there's a car right there. So you hit it. Boom. They get attached to
and
you.
let me ask: the tip? Whatever the gratuity is just included automatically?
It's included in whatever fare you agreed to.
Oh, okay.
They are paid from Uber Cab based on they bill your card the $12, the $19, the $24, and then they're tipped out of that.
And it's not a monthly service fee.
Nope,
it's just
as on demand.
Well, that's fantastic.
It is phenomenal.
And it's here in Phoenix?
Here in Phoenix. And the nice thing is, what I was going with, trying to separate, not every screwball that gets wasted at whatever bar that's trashed yes, there are people that get trashed in your Uber cab, but it does kind of, it's a separation of these
people who have debit cards.
people who,
Right.
if you can have a
Right.
debit card and have your life together at least that much,
Or credit card.
chances are you're not going to
You're
get
probably
thrown
not
up
on
in a
meth.
cab.
Right.
Exactly.
Most
But it's a
likely.
wonderful, wonderful service.
Watch me link these two stories together, right?
You're going to ruin
we
it
go
all.
out.
I was gonna say,
we go out
maybe
after a
not
show.
throw up.
No. We go out after a show, right after one of these shows,
Right.
and proceeded to drink and drink and drink, and maybe the most I've ever drank, and maybe the same for my girlfriend. And we called a cab company, and they said they were coming, and then they didn't come, and I passed it on the sidewalk, and then some poor nice man's like, "Do you guys need a ride? Because I'm passed out." She's yelling at the sky, and some nice man's like, "Do you guys need a ride?" And I peed a little in his backseat. The end. So whoever you are, nice man, if you're listening, I owe you $50.
You are an overachiever. Now,
For
if you-
clean feet.
now
We're
look,
oversharer. We're not
you
sure.
can. I'm gonna pass my.
I'm literally downloading
a
this
little.
like right
I pee a
now.
little.
I'm gonna pass my phone around right now. Now you see all the little black cars that are on the
Uber cab
screen.
coulda saved
See those
my
little cars? And you can watch. They move live in time. So as they move, you can see them move.
And so it says set pickup location. Obviously, that's where we are.
So if you hit that, what happens is it tags exactly where you are. The vehicle gets dispatched. It's all done by GPS. They have no meter. They have none of that. They don't drop a flag. They push a button that they've picked you up.
Sure.
They drive to where it is. They've ended it.
what do they
Boom.
call you when it's also?
You
I
get
really
it.
like your phone case.
Thank you.
Side note.
No, you get the second they're dispatched, you get a text from them. Then they arrive, you get a text from the system, and if you and then it pops up and it says contact your cab driver, and it'll let you call them directly or text your cab driver directly. So you can the interaction
and
is
no
phenomenal.
monthly service fee.
No,
Well, and
none.
so when you say you're here, or they figure out where you are and you put in where you want to go, they just automatically calculate.
Right.
It would cost this much, and so
Right.
we're doing this, and
Right.
here's the tip as well.
Exactly.
So there's
Okay.
one
I
SUV
love it.
nearby and 3 black cars nearby.
Right, and those are like town cars, big
Unintentional
Crown Victorias,
racism, maybe?
whatever. Yeah.
Maybe.
So a nice car shows up. It's not a rattle trap that you're going to die from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Like
They're
Sunrise
beautiful-
Cab,
Right.
God
they're,
bless 'em,
they're
but
beautiful cars. It's just,
I thought one guy was going to murder me.
I couldn't
God
believe
bless him.
how convenient it is because where am I? What's my address? You have to do that. You literally just go bloop and it tells you exactly
Well,
where you
and
are.
how much easier than having to like look up the cab? I mean, not that it's up hard, but
Right.
especially if you've been drinking or it's just like
And then
a
they're
pain-
like, it'll be a half hour. And
right.
then you,
Yeah,
and
and,
it's
it
a
gives
whole
you.
thing.
It'll tell you like how quickly it's gonna, like it says 7 minutes.
Wow,
and then
that
the
is
counter
so
counts
cool.
down and tells you how quickly they're going to be there.
Who invented this? I
Uber.
love them.
Whoever
Brilliant.
Uber is. I don't know, but
That's
they're-
a smart person.
And then
It was
they-
solving
Thomas
problems.
Ube.
after every single cab ride, you get a receipt emailed to you.
I love it.
It shows the route you took. It shows the time, the date, the destination, who your driver was, a picture of the driver,
Oh my
and exactly what the charge was.
So they can't. Well, so they can't
That's
fuck with you because
awesome.
I was in New
Pass
York
this around
once.
again. I'll show you this too.
I was in New York one time, and this cab driver totally knew that my friend and I didn't know where we were going, and he
Right.
absolutely took advantage of us. Like, and we
Yeah.
had to say, "Pull the fuck over, we're getting out,"
Sure.
because he was just driving in circles. Like, I could recognize that. It was just nasty business.
That's an example of the Uber cab receipt. So it shows you the
What
little map. It shows you the name of your
Yeah,
driver.
driver was
all that stuff.
David.
What a
Right.
great thing for business travelers.
Oh, it's
And or
fantastic.
if you leave something in the cab or lose something in the cab.
You know exactly.
Oh,
And they're all so nice.
All
Every
of your-
cabbie was so nice. None of this.
Are they
Receipts.
called cabbies at Uber Cab? Or are they
they're
called like
Uber cabs.
wow, that's
professional
so
drivers?
great.
Actually,
I am going to use this.
One of their taglines is everybody. It's like your private driver or something. If you go to Uber, UBERcabs.com, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But it is a fantastic service. Several friends have used it. But yeah, I think I actually I may have put it on the Facebook. I'm not
I'm
sure.
really glad that you've brought
Yeah,
this
you
to our
did.
It's a
attention.
wonderful
That's where
thing.
I had heard
In
of
fact,
it.
I'm already planning on using it for Dancing with the Bars.
Oh, me
Already
too.
planning- yeah,
Actually,
already planning
I'm
on
not no shit. I'm going to this Way Events pool party on Sunday, and I am going to need rides, like a ride home.
Where
so
is
that
it?
the Hotel Valley Ho.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Nice.
really
Yeah.
fun.
Nice.
It's totally like a free pool party. Come in. It's gonna. I think it'll be really fun.
We might want to talk about going together.
Yeah.
Is it just you, or is Kelly going
No,
too?
just me.
We might
Apparently,
wanna
we're
talk
not
about that.
invited.
No, you can go too. But I mean, you guys would be.
go to a
We
pool
live next door to
We
each other.
also are like super neighbors.
Oh,
Right.
super neighbors.
Yeah.
Super neighbors.
Anyway, it's a great service, and they aren't paying me anything to do it. I don't get a kickback of any kind, but it's just it's a phenomenal service.
Love it. It's cool.
Got it, Marn. You have something else?
Fantastic. I do. Though we always say we don't want to talk about those Westboro son of a bitches, but
Jesus
but
Christ,
it's,
I'm
but it's-
astounded.
But it's difficult sometimes, and I've said this before. Like, how can you avoid not going? Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
So they're at it again with the death of Cory Monteith.
Cory Monteith.
And the idea that he, as everyone I'm sure knows, he was found dead in his hotel room on Saturday the 13th. But now we have the Westboro fuckers that are going to potentially want to picket his funeral. But they've had issues before in Canada, which I think is pretty interesting. They had heard, and now I don't have it. I'll have to look. But they were going to cross the border to attempt. I don't remember who it was for.
Does Canada not let him cross?
No, in light of what Canada knew that they were talking about coming across. And what they did was told the officers, this was in 2008, not to allow anyone to cross who had signs or pamphlets consistent with the church's message.
Right.
So as long as they don't buy the stuff across the border, now that they've learned that. But yeah, they
well, can't they flag names?
I don't know how that works. It doesn't say that in here.
The passport of Fred Phelps comes up. I'm pretty sure you can be like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right, and there are a lot of little Phelps.
Anne Murray called and said, you can't come over.
Well, and keep in mind, that was 2008, and depending, it doesn't give a month, because wasn't it February 1st of 2008, the whole passport thing changed? As far as needing to have that?
It was around then.
I feel like it was like February 1st of 2008. So all I know is that that's what they were intending to do. Now, what they said about this, and it was Shirley Phelps Roper, which of course took me to Three's Company, but
Mrs. Roper.
Mrs. Roper. There were a bunch of tweets that went out, homophobic tweets, that described Monteith as a perpetuator of Chris Colfer's role as a gay teenager, Kurt Hummel on Glee. They went on to say that he was struck down by a raging mad god.
That's
so.
Yeah. The account also tweeted to all of the cast members on the show saying, "Praise God Almighty that Monteith was dead."
So, I read this after the tragic fire here with the firefighters, the 19 up in Prescott. I read some things online. I have friends up in Prescott that that a lot of from what I read, that a lot of Westboro's gig is that they go and they aggravate you and they push your buttons until you go up and you are pissed, you're devastated, you're pissed, and there's some sort of interaction where they just stand back and let you push them. And then they
can
sue you.
file suit.
And that's kind of their whole
how they make their
MO
money.
is they make their money
It's
by
a racket.
just suing
It's
people.
just a racket.
Because
Right.
they deliberately,
Kind of
we're going to
poking
piss
at
these
you,
people
poking
off.
at
We're
you.
going to poke, right, we're going to poke
Which
at
is
them.
why, and I will get on the Kirsten Sinema bandwagon real quickly, why she was one in Arizona to really push legislation that doesn't allow them, and it was passed unanimously,
Right.
It doesn't allow them within however many
500
feet
I think it is.
of any kind of any funeral, any funeral
Wasn't that
procession,
because
any
of,
Christina
Green?
Taylor Green.
Right.
So why is it that they are permitted to be right there on the corner when we have the Pride Parade right here on 3rd?
not
Well,
a
this
funeral.
was specifically to funerals, and it was brought up right after the shooting in Tucson, and they were coming to protest those funerals,
Got
and
it.
so it was.
Well, now, and to that point, I would give praise to the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, who held up the screen because they were, if I'm not mistaken, right here last year.
Yeah, they were.
They were right here on the corner in
was
Central
really
Phoenix
cool.
of our own Pride Parade, and they were all set to protest. And then the sisters put up a big screen and just blocked them out.
And
that's
and
very
just
cool
stood there like,
to see the
whatever.
pictures. Yeah, it was really neat.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's the hate-filled rant and the idea that whole idea of hate speech, like, yes, freedom of speech and this and that, but if it incites a fucking riot,
So
I thought that was a problem.
Do we think that it's only because Glee has Chris Colfer in it as a gay?
They're gay
Well,
accepting
so
and they
many
promote
characters.
homosexuality.
Did I miss something when Liz Taylor died because she was an advocate? Did they go to try to
I
protest
honestly
her?
am going to say I believe yes.
I don't remember hearing that. But
I will look that up, but I
don't
believe
think
yes.
if you think about
they do
someone
it with
like
soldiers, everything, though.
Christina
That's
Taylor
like-
Green, for example, though, this little 9-year-old who was killed, they still wanted to protest her funeral because even if you have nothing to do with the homosexual agenda, you are being killed for the sins of America allowing and
gay people
accepting
around
homosexuals.
you and- right.
So it has nothing to do with you personally being on board with homos. It's just like America embraces homos, and so God hates you. And,
Yeah.
and that's why God hates shrimp because of gays, and God hates God hates everything. God hates you.
I
He
am
hates
not-
Well,
I'm not-
this Okinawant, Shirley Phelps Roper, tweeted that she said that the church was quote unquote gleeful over God's righteous judgment.
Someone murder her. Someone
Seriously.
just commit
Hey,
like
stick
a
Zimmerman
homicide.
on her. He'll get away with it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
I can't even.
God
Well,
had
he's gonna
nothing
get
to do
his
with
gun
this.
back.
It was an unfortunate choice that a person with a problem made, and that's what caused his death.
Yeah.
God, nothing else had anything to do with this.
Well, same thing. Sandy Hook Elementary. They
Right.
were going to go there.
Right.
They were,
I
for these
mean,
babies.
Yeah,
Come
stupid.
on,
Babies.
Yeah. So-
I do wonder, and unfortunately, I know how the justice system works, and I know it'll happen. But it would be very nice, and I'd like to see the outrage if they were all gathered together, and and all of a sudden, we're not sure where the bullets came from.
Yeah.
But they were all
the grassy knoll.
They were all, and there were grassy knolls
Right,
everywhere,
right.
and they were all just mowed down, and then
Yeah.
we were done with it. I wonder if anybody would even care.
I think it would continue because there's still little kids, and honest to God, and I don't think we've watched the video on this show before with Shirley Phelps Roper or one of the women talking to the reporter. Do you remember
I
that?
remember talking
And the
about that.
reporter is gay, and he was like, "Wait, but I've been to your. I can't remember the circumstances, but
Wait,
he had been to their
was
house
that
for
wasn't-
dinner."
That wasn't Cooper. No, that was the woman from the down south.
No, but
that one.
he had been to their house for dinner, and she's like, and she was laughing, kind of. I don't know. Al had pulled it up. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think that they are as hateful as they, and perhaps they are. I don't buy it. I think
You
it's an
can't
act.
say
It's a
this
racket. It's a racket. They are trying. This is how they make money. This is how they make money. It's exactly the same way as people pick your pockets. People are gonna rob you at the grocery store, right? Like it's just the
people
way.
that put up a tent and heal you.
It absolutely. It's the same as the guy who stands on the corner and begs for your change. It is, and not
Except
the same.
and not the same
Not
kind of
the
rant. I
same.
mean, the 2008 thing I found, they crossed the border. This is where they had stopped them. The Canadian Mounties.
Mounties? The Mounties?
The Mounties. They crossed the border to arrive at a funeral of a 22-year-old who was murdered on a Greyhound bus. Their intent was to tell Canadians that the murder was God's response to policies allowing homosexuality, abortion, and divorce and remarriage.
Pretty much everything I believe in, they don't.
Right.
So I like it. I
don't
like where I
mean
stand.
to say that the same as the homeless guy on the corner if it's legit, but a lot of people who are faking it, it's just a racket that people do to make money.
Yeah, but if you stand on the corner with a sign, that's not hate. That's not. I mean, it's
You're right, but it's
you're
just a
pulling the wool
different.
over
But
my
it's your
eyes,
way
maybe.
to make a buck, and it's their way to make a buck. I don't agree with
Who's
it,
paying
obviously,
them?
but
Do they get? You think these people? Do they get paid by ABC to do interviews?
It's
I
the
think lawsuits.
I
I
think
think
it's
they sue
lawsuits
people
because I've
for-
heard that before as well.
shoving them.
Who's
and-
paying? But really, what court would be like? You know what? You deserve $25,000.
Florida.
That's I don't get. That's crazy.
Maybe
Why
one
would
down
you be that?
I'm with you. I'm completely with you, and I just think that it's this hate-filled rants, and how that
it's
can
nuts.
be
But I think
so
it's fake.
ugly.
I know it's ugly, and I don't think it's all fake. I don't mean to say
how
that,
can
but
it-
like,
but the people that are getting out of that church, the people that
Yeah,
are trying to get
no,
out
you're
of
right.
that church. I mean,
Didn't
I think
didn't
it's a
daughter
cult.
recently.
Two
it is
granddaughters,
yes,
I
no,
think.
it's a cult, and I shouldn't say fake, but I don't really think they care that much.
It's kind of and I'm only saying this not because I was a part of one, obviously, but the idea that I knew someone who was, as far as getting jumped into a gang and getting jumped out of a gang, and the things that can happen that are associated with that, with the brainwashing and the way you're supposed to think and feel and act and react,
as a weird like money making little group, a church.
Yeah. Church.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. So,
I agree with what Tyler says. Nobody should be allowed to pick at any person's
Correct.
funeral. I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
And when
Unless
so
it's actually
across the
Shirley
board-
Phelps, actually Shirley Phelps Roper.
I wouldn't.
Then we can pick it.
I wouldn't.
hers.
I
I
wouldn't.
would turn my back.
I wouldn't
if
pick it.
if was
I would
there.
hold up. I would just be like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We're good. Thank you. I wouldn't protest. I would.
I might go
celebrate.
with the sign that says God loves
gays,
God
and that's why
loves
you're dead.
gays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night.
You died because you hate gays.
Later.
Well, let's turn our heads to Boca Raton, to Florida. Let's go to Florida. Well, I'm gonna pass this out. This is a handout. We'll start here. You can pass
Is
it
it a
around.
flying cat? Because that's my favorite
No, it's not.
handout
No,
ever.
we can never top that story. Residents in the Loggers Run neighborhood woke up on Monday to quite a bubbly surprise and a foamy mess after someone dumped several bottles of, oddly, Palmolive dish soap in a nearby waterfall. Witnesses said the prank sent car-sized chunks of bubbles onto Palmetto Park Road, where drivers had to swerve around or slow down to dodge the foam. It was so big. This is on our Facebook page, or if you Google Boca Raton, Florida, soap suds, you're going to find it. I thought maybe it was like fake ice or something, but when I got closer, I saw that it was kind of moving, and I was like, nope, that is soap suds, said Joyce Sees, who was on her way to work when she saw the mess. Just feet away from the mess, several empty bottles of Palmolive dish soap had been found scattered near the waterfall. Loggers Run Neighborhood Management estimates it will cost several $100s to drain, scrub, and repair the damage that was done. The community HOA sent out a report confirming the potential liability involved and that the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office was called to help redirect traffic during the morning bubbly incident. Sees said the bubbly joke could have turned sour. Quote, be more careful. I mean, you have people that are driving on the highway trying to get to work. That could be a dangerous situation. Loggers Run Management said a crew will assess the damages on Tuesday and repair the fountain. But if you have not seen this, it is huge. If you Google it and see pictures, the bubble, I've never seen soap suds that tall. They're like 2 stories tall.
Oh, yeah.
The soap suds are
God.
huge.
God.
And sections of them had broke off and blown across the It looked like
That would be startling.
like as big as your car, Marn. Like these are huge. But it was funny.
That would be startling.
Soap
Can you
suds.
imagine?
Right.
Oh
No.
no, we're okay.
But the scary part is it's like driving in fog.
Sure.
You don't know what's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So if you think you're just driving through a simple patch of soap suds,
Simple patch of soap.
right? No, there could be a donkey on the other side. You'll hit it.
You have to use a lot because I've seen, like fountains at apartment complexes where it's been, they prank them with
little
little soap
foam.
suds. But
Right.
I mean, that's huge.
Huge. But
That's
they showed
huge.
in one of the news stories, they showed a shot of the ground, and there were several bottles of soap suds. And you think about it, over the years, what do dishwashing detergents? They have more and more and more and more suds, more grease cutting, more of this. So I'm guessing a little dab will do you. And if you have just a little drop, you get a ton of it. But if you put like 17 bottles. And
I love suds. I use a lot of that.
Here's my thought. This
too.
is my making it better sort of a deal. So they took the time to take, I don't know how many bottles. There were several. I'm just going to use a round number. Let's say 10. So you're going to take the time to squeeze 10 bottles of soap suds into a fountain. Why wouldn't you take a bucket and dump all 10 into one bucket? And then just dump it in all at once and run. You took the time to squeeze 10 bottles or
Well,
however
they still
many.
didn't get caught.
No, they haven't gotten caught.
Because Clayton, you are just you're far more. I mean, that's more like economical with your time.
Yeah.
It's more. Yeah, I like
But
it.
get away with it more.
But I would never do that because that doesn't make sense to me. Unless it was a way to clean the fountain, but clearly it's not.
Right.
That's funny. I'm
Just-
watching the video right now.
Okay.
Just
Actually, it's pretty funny.
a couple of side
intense.
notes back to the stories that we had been doing. They
Yeah.
did plan to picket Liz Taylor's funeral.
Oh,
I
did
don't know
they?
if they did. It just said that they planned, and there were a bunch of articles.
Okay.
And the other piece for funding for Westboro, their travel expenses exceed about $200,000 annually.
Yeah, you don't even think about that. They have to travel to all of these places.
Westboro is funded entirely by its congregation and accepts no outside donations. The church has received money, so that's not totally true, from lawsuits and legal fees. For example, they sued the city of Topeka several times in the 90s. Westboro received $16,500 and is pursuing another $100,000 in legal fees for a case they won in court there. It's considered a non-profit organization. Al will love this.
I hate that.
And
Such
is therefore
shit.
exempt
That's
from
bullshit.
paying taxes.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. And fucking Pat Robertson should be paying taxes too.
Oh,
that
huge.
dumbass.
Yeah, he should.
But that's crazy. But does it say what the lawsuits are for, and why in God's name would any jury award them money?
That's a really good question.
No,
but
you're
also,
absolutely right.
isn't their congregation like just their family? So what are they? So they must
Basically.
work and then work to support.
All
they're
they do.
lawyers. All
They're
of
lawyers.
Or they all right.
Didn't you guys know that? They're
yeah.
lawyers.
Mom, yeah, Julie
Yeah.
Roper,
Oh.
whatever.
And the daughter, Fred Phelps' daughter, and Fred Phelps actually
How did
started
those
off
bitches
like
pay to go to law
he
school?
started off as a fairly normal guy. If you have ever
I
read anything
don't know
about
anything
him,
about their history.
he started off as a fairly normal guy, and then somewhere in helping women, and then all of a sudden kind of cracked, just fucking cracked. And it was late 70s, I think. And I don't know if it was a mental breakdown, obviously.
I wonder if he maybe started to have some bizarre homosexual desires.
I had heard that a long time ago.
And then he was
Granted,
like, I'm so freaked out. Now I have to just become nuts.
right. I had heard that there was alleged, behind the scenes.
Allegedly.
But I will look up those
allegedly.
I will look up those other pieces. The one piece can go for a story here can go to entertainment. It is, just for those out there that are our allies, it is Heterosexual Awareness Month. I'm just going to let you know that.
Yay!
So-
straight
I
mom.
and I think we all know somebody who's straight.
I've
couple
heard. Well,
people.
My mom is.
Well, and she chose that.
I know she
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She should come out as
God
gay.
bless her.
Well, she came out as straight
She came out
years
as
ago.
straight. Yeah, good
Time
for
ago.
and good for her.
I think your mom's the same. I think
is.
all of our moms.
Yeah, my
our
mom's
parents.
straight.
Yeah, allegedly.
I know.
Ally.
And
I
it's
mean,
so
I'm gonna put
hard
pressure
for
on
her.
anybody.
I know.
Can we
I
not
know.
put that picture in my head, maybe?
Yeah. Which picture?
Of my mom not being straight? I don't need that picture in my head.
She doesn't drive a
Lady
Subaru,
sex.
does she?
No.
Lady sex. Mom's lady sex.
Well, okay, vomit.
Hashtag mom.
Moving
Katie
on.
said that I did it.
Moving on. So the idea of defenses when we're talking about like people suing and people doing this and that, I need my gun more than ever, George Zimmerman has said. His defense
You're
defense
kidding.
team has said for him
No, listen to this shit.
that he needs it more than ever now. And because of all the threats, he will get his gun back, the one
Yes.
that killed Trayvon Martin.
Yes, he will.
Can you believe that shit?
Because he was acquitted. So therefore, in a court of law, proven innocent.
Right.
Okay. And the idea, this is where I have kind of gotten with this, because I wasn't in there and I didn't hear all of the testimony and I don't know all this and that. But when you compare
If you
two
watch
things,
CNN, they rehash it every 5 fucking minutes.
and HLN even more
Jesus
deeper.
Christ.
But the idea of that stand your ground defense, and then a gal came out and received 20 years using the same stand your ground defense.
Yeah.
For shooting a
warning shots.
Right. And
And-
I heard that.
Against an abusive husband.
Correct. And the idea that they use the same things. He was found not guilty. I shouldn't say innocent, but not guilty. Charges of second-degree murder. All the evidence, because of that, under Florida law, will be released, including the Kel-Tec 9 pistol that he used to kill Martin. And so he's getting that back, and I think that there's just a lot. I think he truly feels in his heart that if he did not have that weapon that night, he might not be here. And so but he would have continued to get beat even though he was screaming for help. So they're really trying to say that it was this self-defense and that Trayvon was beating him, and that's where they show the picture of his head. I don't know. I don't buy it. But
there's
that's
just
me.
there's nothing that you can say that self-defense, but you got a busted nose and
He got
kid is dead.
He got dead.
Like, then you should have punched back, or you should have laid there until he went away. I mean, if someone came up to me and was beating me up, I don't own a gun.
But if
I
you're-
would, if someone came up to me and was beating me up and I couldn't win a fight, I don't know what I would do necessarily, and you never know when they, how it stops. But I mean, certainly, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Whoopi Goldberg, they had on The View, they had Zimmerman's team, his defense team was
Right,
on
I saw
there.
them.
Yeah, and Whoopi was just like, wait a minute. So, okay, he's getting his head beat.
And barely,
Why
though.
wouldn't-
Really, not really. He had a
It
couple
really-
scratches in the back.
I'm not going to disagree with you because I saw that and I'm like, okay. But here he has the gun and he has the wherewithal, even though he can't do anything else, but he can point and shoot a gun and kill someone. Why didn't he hit him with the butt of the gun? Why didn't he, there's all these what ifs. And you're never going to get Trayvon back, but the idea that he's able to get that gun back, I think there's something about that really is not right.
Discouraging.
Yeah, really discouraging.
I don't want to appear as though that I am not interested in your story.
Yeah, no.
I can't hear any more about it.
I understand.
It's that, and I can't hear any more about Arias, and I can't hear any more about the Boston bombing. I'm just.
Can I tell you selfishly?
Jesus.
I'm glad this happened during the summer
Yeah.
because when Trayvon Martin was killed, it was during the school year, and I taught then and teach now at a very racially diverse school, and it's not a very white school. And when Trayvon Martin, it doesn't matter race regardless. All of my students, for the most part, showed up for like a week in hoodies with
Yeah.
Skittles, like the whole it was. These middle school kids,
And it's
so
their
I'm
way
it's
of, like,
of identifying
dealing and you're right.
and
making
going
a
through that.
statement.
And Skittles are good.
So I'm just
They
glad
are
it's
fucking
summertime
yummy.
right now
It's
because I can
rainbow
handle it.
delight.
But I'm with you. And
Taste the rainbow.
all I'm saying is
Westboro's
that
right.
is that I'm with you.
Protest
I
them.
didn't really know much about the trial to begin with, and I didn't really haven't read anything really about it since it ended because I just can't even
I
go
can't
there.
handle it, yeah.
It's just too.
And just to
Too much.
solidify it, the main idea, because we haven't really talked about it. I mean, in here we haven't really talked about it. It was about the getting the gun back for me. That was just the one thing that has kind of clicked with that. And the woman getting 20 years for the same exact
The only
offense.
other piece that I'll say is that the Black Panthers apparently, allegedly, put out a $10,000 hit.
Yeah,
on George
I can believe
Zimmerman.
that. Yeah. Whoa.
I know. I kind of just made me go.
It was an accident.
Unintentional
It was an accident.
murder.
Bell ring.
Anyway,
They
just
call
thought
that
that was
manslaughter, but
thought
not
it was
in Florida.
interesting. Thought it was interesting.
Tyler from Tennessee says that we should get the Westboro Baptist Church to pick at this show, because, which I agree. I'd love them to be out there.
Yeah, right.
Because the news coverage would be phenomenal. We could not get better press.
Tyler,
I said,
Right.
Tyler, get on that,
Get on that.
because
Yeah.
that is press advertisement that no amount of money
I
could
think
pay
that
for.
goes viral.
actually a really good idea.
If we get them to come
Maybe
and
I'll
pick,
call him. Maybe we can like fucking poke that bear.
get them just to show up here.
Bitch.
The Gay
Let's
Pride
let 'em stand-
office, Ion AZ.
You guys, let's let him stand in the
courtyard.
Yeah.
No, right here,
right
on the
here.
other side of the window.
Oh, yeah.
Studio A?
In Studio
Right
A.
In Studio A.
And they can hear all of it, and we'll be like, "Ha ha, poke the bear, motherfucker."
We could have beverages and
Yes.
snacks.
Snacks.
That'd be hot. I'm gonna that's a hashtag.
I like it.
Westboro Baptist Church. I love it.
Hashtag fuck you, Westboro.
Okay, we're gonna round up our headlines, even though we are running terribly over, but it's all good. We're having a good time. It's the show. It's Tuesday night. I'm here with Katie, Marnie, and Aaron. Now, I thought we'd end our headline segment on this kind of a fun one, because this was just done on CNN recently, and then we're gonna go into our drinking word and then entertainment, and everything else is coming up that you're used to seeing with us on here on Tuesday night. In case you missed it, CNN did a story on this classic misunderstood lyrics from everyone from Jimi Hendrix, "Excuse Me While I Kiss This Guy," and Creedence Clearwater Revival's "There's a Bathroom on the Right." While it's hard to top Elton John's "Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza," CNN commentators offered up many worthy suggestions for other well-known songs with confusing lyrics. Some submissions appeared to be sincere misunderstandings of the actual songs, while others were clearly jokes. In some cases, the garbled lyric was actually better than the real one. So, clever readers have submitted some of theirs, and here are 10 of their more favorites. For example, "Reverend Blue Jeans" by Neil Diamond, the actual lyric, "Forever in Blue Jeans." "I left Jermaine down in Africa."
That's actually Jermaine down in Africa.
The song by Toto, it's actually "I Bless the Rain Down in Africa."
Okay.
"Like a Virgin Touched for the 41st Time." Well, Madonna actually wrote the lyrics "Like a Virgin Touched for the very first time." "Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds" by the
Right.
Beatles is
Heard
the
that one.
actual lyric of "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." This one made me laugh out loud. "Israeli Men, Hallelujah."
Israeli men.
Right. The Weather Girls did a song called "It's Raining Men, Hallelujah." Israeli Men, Hallelujah.
I know a
love
lot
that.
of women and gay men who would agree.
That's awesome.
Israeli men, hallelujah.
Oh
right?
my God.
See?
That
There
was
you
so
go.
funny.
I'm not doing well.
Apparently, the Psy song Gangnam Style,
Right.
they thought the lyric was "Open Condom Style." It's "Open Gangman Style" is what it was. "I want to rock and roll all night and party every day." Well, the actual lyric is "I want to rock and roll all night and party every day," not a part of every day.
Okay.
It doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not. Bon Jovi lyrics, "It doesn't make a difference if we make it,
Make
or,
it or
not.
not.
Oh, I like naked way better.
Well, especially with Bon Jovi, because
Yeah.
still, like, did he just turn 55?
Yeah,
It's over there.
I always.
He's not a bad looking man.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay, that's more.
Yeah.
"Walking in the Middle of the Land" from the much recorded holiday song "Winter Wonderland." Actual lyric, "Walking in a winter wonderland." Walking in the middle of the land. What the hell does that mean? The top prize, however, goes to 1978's Eddie Money hit "Two Tickets to Paradise," which somehow inspired an entire playlist of tortured titles.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, good.
"I've got 2 tricks and a pair of dice."
I've heard that one.
"I've got 2 ticks and a parasite." "I've got 2 crickets and a pair of mice." "I've got 2 chiclets to sterilize."
Shut up.
You're seeing this? "I've got
my
2
God.
chiclets to sterilize."
That's good.
And the last one of the list is, "I've got 2 chickens to paralyze."
Dinner served. Next caller.
Unintentional lyrics.
Oh my God, that is hysterical. I love it.
There are so many others, I'm sure. If you've got a song lyric that you don't quite know exactly what it is or you got it wrong, please hit us up in the chat room and let us know. Bye, Harrison. She has got to bow out early tonight.
Harrison.
Oh, I think it's time, though we're running severely way later than normal. It's time for our drinking word, and we're going to start it out by listening to Al tell us what it's all about.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Things got off.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Ooh. So after much discussion in studio this evening, we've decided that tonight's drinking phrase will be, that's when things got all Florida. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, is that right?
Ding, 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 ding.
So, yeah.
I like it.
So anytime we're referring to something going to hell,
it got all
it
Florida.
all got all Florida.
Is that like when I was doing the Aaron Carter? Like, that shit got all Florida.
That shit got all Florida.
All Florida.
All Florida.
Woo!
All right.
Shoot, girl.
Heaven's sakes alive. Let me go back to this. I have so much to do. Aaron, are you ready? You're doing it again. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
I think she's ready. I think she's excited.
Ready.
Oh, play the goddamn song. Here we go.
And I just talk over the music.
Go!
Donnie Wahlberg commits adultery. Maybe.
Maybe.
Honey Boo Boo scratch and sniff in studio.
Oh!
We're not so gleeful after all. Big Brother's continued racism, and Jenny McCarthy and her beliefs on vaccines at The View.
Yes.
Maybe. I did that for my girlfriend because she watches The View. And I'll keep pretending I'm talking for the long intro. And then it went all
Florida.
And that shit went all Florida. What? So I don't remember the order I gave those in, but I'm going to throw to Marnie for a minute because there was a really disturbing moment at the concert. And I don't know, Katie, if it disturbed you as much.
Oh, I cheered.
Okay.
It was hideous. It was hideous.
I didn't notice. I
was
didn't
another
notice
big
it
girl.
happening until Fatty in front of
It
me.
was
Looked at the screen and was like, "Oh my god!" Like it looked like he had come over and like touched her or something. And I look up at the screen and I thought I was gonna vomit.
No,
because it was I saw.
It was troubling.
It was weird. I didn't notice at first too. I heard everyone screaming and I was looking around like, what's going on? And then I looked at the screen and I was like, oh my god.
So, babe.
Okay. So we're at the concert and Donnie Wahlberg, who it was our understanding was married, and was for like 8-9 years and is now divorced.
I think divorced. Yeah, I
Is
googled.
divorced.
I googled him. I looked it up.
Good.
So is
Don't
now
worry.
is now divorced. Well, kind of.
Good reason.
Is now divorced. I have breaking news. Okay.
Breaking.
And breaking news. Anyway, we all look up and we see Donnie Wahlberg, who had to have been drunk or high or bath salts or something,
man,
because he was trying to eat this woman's face
touching-
off.
I saw so much tongue at that concert on that screen between Donnie Wahlberg and a complete fat stranger in tight clothes. Like,
so Donnie Wahlberg gets down on his knees and then like crawls on
Panther
his
crawls.
stomach.
That
to
shit got
her
all
side.
Florida.
It went all Florida.
The whole moment was super Florida.
And
my
was
God.
just macking on this chick. And it was like, really? What's happening? So, of course, we were very troubled by the whole thing. And not married.
I'm talking
but
tongue,
I'm gonna tie
tongue,
in
Jumbotron
a story
tongue.
that this one started. Donnie Wahlberg started it. Jenny McCarthy ended it. 14 hours ago, they are together. Donnie Wahlberg, Jenny McCarthy, couple.
Currently?
That's not true.
Yep.
I'm Googling it immediately.
Google. 14
Immediately.
They were together as of July 4th. He was on her VH1 show, and she asked something about, do you talk dirty when you're having sex? And he said, I absolutely do. And she goes, well, because most men do it wrong. And he goes, I don't. And they've been dating ever since.
Oh,
yeah. Am I wrong?
How do you think she feels about
all over Jenny
It's
McCarthy
14.
dating Donnie Wahlberg? Jenny McCarthy, Donnie Wahlberg dating
Can't make that
Donnie
shit
McCarthy. Donnie Wahlberg is dating Jenny McCarthy.
Does it matter that he shoves his tongue down people's faces?
Unintentional
It was
adultery.
disturbing.
Oh my God, there's a
Right.
picture of the two of them
It
here
was-
together.
Yeah.
I don't. Seriously, the
4th of
the
July
amount
is
of
when they got together.
tongue on that screen was
So,
troubling.
What now? I missed the whole lead up. I missed the Panther crawl. I missed
Right,
the Florida.
right,
I missed
right.
all the Florida
It
of
went
that
very
situation.
all Florida.
Yeah, I missed all the Florida. But I did. I looked up when he was like kind of making a face at the screen. Like I don't know if it was like a "oh yeah, baby" or like a "help me Jesus." I didn't know what face he was making. But
I think it was "I'm on drugs."
I thought that he went in to like give her a smooch, very campy, and she shoved her tongue
It was
into his
him.
mouth.
No.
What?
It was him,
And
then
he kept going.
and then she was like, "Oh," and I feel like I hope she was single.
Yeah,
that's
what
and that's what that's what my friend Lindsay was saying. She was like, I mean, if that was me, I would have been like, excuse me, no, thank you, no,
right,
like, no.
You can kiss me right here. Suck it.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well, and he was lots of naked, lots of gyrating, and then there was a song totally off topic where they pulled up girls from the audience, and one of them brought up their mom.
Yeah, that was annoying. That was 98
It
degrees
was
though.
98
Oh,
degrees.
well, see, I don't
Because
even
she
remember.
was conceived during the song when it first came out.
So 98 degrees apparently all. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because there were only 4 of them. Brought up with ladies from the
Well, really
audience,
only
and there were
one.
like 2 women who they brought up and sat on these stools, and they're singing to them. They were like this the whole time.
Yeah, it was
Like,
really
I'm
weird.
not
Except
even
for the
gonna
one
smile.
girl. The one girl was cute.
Right,
Where
right,
she's
but-
like, "Oh my god!"
but-
Yeah.
Because Nick
Anyway.
Lachey was singing to her,
Anyway.
or Latchy, as I like to call her.
Oh, hi, Sean.
Latchy.
By the way, Sean's listening on his way home right
Hi,
now from work.
Sean.
We miss you.
We miss you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow evening. I don't care what your plans are.
Can you give a dun 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 dun? Do we have any
Dun,
like
scary music, or sound of a fat child walking,
or a kid farting? Maybe. Yeah, that's probably what it sounds like when she farts.
So
she goes, "Oh, Florida."
New season begins July 17th, Wednesdays at 8 Central on TLC. Here comes Honey Boo Boo. Now listen, I have to be totally honest, and I know none of you will believe this. As much of a reality TV person I am, I've never watched any of this Honey Boo Boo pageant.
I have watched
Yeah.
Honey Boo because I
I
can't
have.
believe that
Well,
they
you
actually
better
permit
clear
it.
your schedule for tomorrow night, because in last week's episode of People, the one with Chandler Bing
God bless
on the
it.
cover,
Oh.
this
You realize
week's-
that is not his name. His
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry.
It is. Yeah,
This
yes, it
week's
is.
Us Weekly, which I don't have in front of me, but this one, Clayton, if you're watching, you can see
that's what I
Clayton
wanted to
grabs it
see.
because Zach from The Bachelorette is
He's
topless.
gone.
He is a good-looking boy.
He's gone.
I don't know if you, I'm sorry. Did I?
Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry. So
Things went all Florida.
So things are all Florida. So in this week's Us Weekly, last week's People Magazine, there is a swatch and sniff insert. I'm showing our viewers.
No.
With her little pouty ass face on the front. That shit is all Florida.
There you go. There's your camera
And
shot. You
there's,
can hold it up. There, Honey Boo Boo.
This way. And
You're good.
there are 3 steps on the back. Number 1,
tragic.
watch the season premiere.
Okay.
Number 2, scratch the number.
Open-
And number 3, sniff the scent
Show
and
the-
enjoy
So
the
see,
show.
there's numbers inside. Oh my god.
And in the little trailer, no pun intended.
that was good, Martin.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I enjoyed that.
Like she leans up against her mom and farts.
They live in a house.
And that's one where
Oh!
they were. Now I don't know that that's what it is.
So
How do you capture that?
So some people from I have to read. I forget where they're from. A group at Yahoo attempted to do a sniff test on the cards, but they had a really hard time detecting the smell. This says it says that number 1 might be baby powder. Number 3 might be a sugary snack. The rest of the smells are ambiguous enough that we have to wonder: are the odors supposed to be hard to identify, or do we get a bum card? So I thought maybe we could do a little scratch and sniff this evening. If number one is baby powder, who cares? But number 2,
yeah, but we have to find out if that's true.
If number 2,
Except I'm a
maybe,
little nervous with the whole olfactory.
Oh my
thing.
God, that's awful. Oh my God, do it. Smell it. Now you smell it.
But
Smell
what
number 2.
what is it supposed to
I want
be?
to guess.
We don't
know
know.
until tomorrow.
I
Smell
wanna
number
know.
2. Smell number 2.
Number 2. It smells like grease out of an old tractor.
Okay, so you have to know that I have the most sensitive sniffer
Or
in the
diesel
universe.
fuel.
Okay, that
Can I
could
just-
be.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh no! Wait! There's a fish there and there's a flower
but
there.
I don't think that means anything because that
No.
sure doesn't smell like flour.
Should I continue?
Yeah,
Yeah, please do.
Do number 4 because they
Yeah.
said 3 they thought was sugary snack.
So we're gonna write down.
Our
4
guess-
is lovely.
4 is what though? What do you
I don't
think
know.
it
It's
is?
like I don't know. It's like a room. Like it smells like a room air freshener or
All
something.
right, maybe.
And you thought number 3 was
Number
diesel
3.
fuel?
No, number 3 is sugary snack. Says Yahoo.
2 smell on
Two
to me.
is
It smells like
diesel.
and nobody's gonna understand this but me. If you work on like an old
Yep.
car, an old tractor, and
Yep.
there's like old grease,
Yep.
that's what it smells like. Old grease out of a machine shop.
Okay.
Okay, number 5.
No, wait, let's go back. So number 3 was a sugary snack. You thought? Let's go back. No. Number 3 is like smoky. It's like smell it. That smells like it's like you're smoking.
I mean, I can
Doesn't it
smell
smell
that
like-
shit from over here.
Doesn't it smell like you're?
that?
It smells like it's smoke, like a fire.
Yeah, it smells like a barbecue.
Give it to her.
I have the worst sniffer in the world. I should not be
Well,
smelling
then you
these
need to
things.
stop.
It
Number
does. It
3?
smells
3.
like a
It smells like smoke.
like a fire.
That is not a sugary
Like it
snack.
smells like a campfire.
My asshole.
No, that's
Or-
unintentional.
That shit is Florida.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see that.
All right,
Wait,
so
Clayton, what was the one
Go
you
to-
said? I just want to smell.
3 is like. Oh wait.
Oh, 4 is no. Which was the one?
2 is
that was
old tractor grease.
Whoa.
Okay.
And
2
which
is
one
bad.
smells like?
Now 5.
Now 5. Okay. Old tennis shoes. It's like old.
That's disgusting.
Okay, now there's supposed to be one that's a
Well,
fart.
then just
One's a
take
fart.
take
so.
old tennis shoes.
What's
Oh,
number 1?
I don't know. It's dirty.
What's
yeah,
number one?
It's old
it smells
We
like
haven't
a,
done number 1. They
like
said
a
baby
rubber
powder.
factory,
Okay.
like a tennis shoe factory, like
Yeah,
that
let's say
rubber.
that.
Oh, it smells like old
tennis shoe
tennis
rubber.
rubber.
I haven't.
Number
smelled
1
the
is
other ones.
deodorant. Number 1 is
I guess I have a
powder
tolerant.
deodorant.
I have a tolerant
wait,
sniffer.
okay, no,
So are you
okay.
going to write
We have
these
to
down
send
and then
it
next
back.
week we're going to figure it
Yeah.
out? But you're gone next week.
But we'll send
But
them
I'll
in.
give it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to
We
you.
have to give. Clayton needs to sniff number 6 now too.
And number
He's
1
our-
I sniffed it.
he's our
It's powder
sniffer.
deodorant.
I didn't smell number 1. God, this is riveting radio, isn't it?
This is what Watch Your Honey Boo Boo
Yeah,
will
this
be
is what
like.
tomorrow night's going to be
So
like, but she's
try
going to have an
number six.
attitude, right?
So let me go back to 1.
Okay.
Let me go back to 1. Oh, that's lovely. That's a baby
baby
powder.
powder.
It's like shower to shower.
Lovely.
That's lovely. It's nice. That's good.
It's a fresh, clean
It's a
scent.
clean, right? It is. I mean, it's no Febreze, but it's clean.
you people are all kinds
What's
of
my
Florida.
next one? 6.
6.
6. I can go to 6 now. Stand by. I'm rubbing it.
It's not a rub and sniff. It's a scratch and sniff.
I don't want to scratch. I just did my nails.
I don't want my nails to
I
smell
want.
like
I'm
that.
not. Well, you suck at this.
You're all Florida about
I
it.
suck at it.
It's almost like it's the smell of like a
Let me
candy.
smell.
Like it's a
Well, Katie Jo next.
Katie. Get 6. Take 6. Oh, that's a music group.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Not to be confused with 98
I actually
degrees.
that's like my I can like sniff this one, but watch this will be the fart, and I'm like, it smells good.
That's good. Honey Boo Boo's ass smells delicious.
Ew, okay.
Number
Ew.
6.
God, she's.
But it smells like a weird
It
like
smells
a
like
lotion.
chocolate.
It smells like
Yeah,
candy to
chocolate.
me.
You're totally right.
It smells like candy
Maybe
to
they
me.
got their numbers wrong.
So who's
here.
gonna watch this shit? Do I have to
we
watch
are.
it? Yeah, but you're not gonna be here next week.
Yeah, it
But I'm
smells
gonna
like
watch
it. No, but we'll let you know.
You let us know.
Yeah, we're
you
gonna-
have to let us know.
Oh yeah, that number 6 is something sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marnie, what your homework is? You've got to email me what we had thought it was,
Yep.
what it actually was, and we will go over it next week. By the way, have you confirmed with Steve Cerna, Katie June?
No, but I will.
We need to confirm with
right
him,
now. I
'cause
will
it-
text him
'cause-
immediately.
No, give me number 5. Let me see it.
Because we're in hopes
I
that
need number
next
5.
week it's going to
Yeah.
be you, Al, myself, and Steve Cerna playing the part of Marnie
FUN
Ryan.
fun.
Right.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
Got it.
So
Okay, continue on.
So that's Honey Boo Boo. I don't know that we need to really talk about it because I know that Katie's as upset as I am about it. I know
What?
that Marnie's upset about it.
What?
And Corey Monteith.
Oh.
It's someone taken too soon.
What's
tragic.
interesting to me is I don't know where I was. I never heard that he ever had an addiction problem
agree.
ever.
I
didn't know
did
anything
recently.
about
No,
it.
I knew he was in rehab,
but only in May.
Yeah.
March.
But then I read an article
March.
posthumously.
Right.
I don't know if that's the
Posthumously.
Posthumously.
Nothing's humorous about it.
Thank you.
funny.
Right. That he has actually struggled with addiction on and off since 13.
13, right.
He dropped out of school at 16, which we all kind of knew he dropped out of high school, but and probably due to some in some part addiction and drugs and alcohol. But what was really hard for me is that I have a family member who struggled with addiction, and I called that person and I was in tears just saying, I'm just so sad to hear this news, like totally shocking. I'm glad you're, and I know I'll share, and not that I don't know if it's a secret, I may have talked about it. It's my brother.
Yep.
And yeah.
Oh, you have talked about that before.
Okay. So my brother now is clean and sober for over a year.
That's
and
awesome. Well done.
he happened to be at this conference. It's called ICYPA. Actually, it's International Convention of Young People of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay.
So he was there. And I don't know, I just like called him and said, "Do you know who this person is? He died, and we think it's of addiction." It was that night, and I just like broke into tears, and Matt was crying, and I was crying, and I just felt really emotional about it. Like I felt like this Corey Monteith was someone that I don't know him, you know.
But I brought him into my house every week.
Every week.
And I listened to him
in a really
sing.
vulnerable way. Like he was a part of this like glee club that we were all kind of like that outcasty.
He was never supposed to be a singer on the show.
Ever.
He was just a jock. It was a football player.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, you can sing. And then he became
he
part
was
of
a
it.
drummer. He was a drummer first.
Right.
He's on my iPod is Glee, and as if this isn't perfect timing, Al just sent a text that said he's doing a tribute to Corey. He's so drunk and he's singing so loud. I don't know if the drunk is a tribute, but the singing maybe.
But
Corey.
too soon. That's going all Florida about it.
That's good. Yeah. But it really is. I brought him to my house every week, and I listened to him, and I bonded over him, and it's.
So how was
feels very personal.
So how was the conversation with your brother?
Excuse me. It was actually really good. You know, and he just said it's a miracle that I'm here, and it's very sad that he's not, and it could have been me, and we could have been flipped. And he was talking about some, you know, of course, at all meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, Narcotics Anonymous, whatever, they have speakers. So he was talking about, just told me about some speakers that he had heard, and the news was just starting to like get to them at the conference. There was a relatively solid contingency of gay members of this. I mean, there were thousands, you know, like 3,000 plus people at this conference.
Wow.
Of gays. They did a big drag show, for example, and at the show at this conference. And so Matt was like, yeah, we're kind of just hearing about it. And you know, he just says it's a miracle that I'm here, and it's so sad that he's not. And, you have to just like have a reason. I don't know. You know, it's very personal for them, and you have to have a reason to stay sober. And it's very spiritual for a lot of them. And I can imagine how someone like Corey Monteith, you know, how he just lost his way at a really young age, and for whatever he's tried to get better, he's had so much fame and success and money and party and at his fingertips that you have to be. My brother, I know, has to be so solid in his sobriety, and he lives like a normal guy life, right? You know, and it's hard. It's hard. We're emotional.
Martin, go ahead. Do what you say.
I was just going to say, I mean, it just goes to prove it doesn't matter how much you have or how little you have, or how you know how many years you have or how many minutes you have. There was someone who's very out in their in AA as far as in their sobriety is. Damn it. Tied to Bette Midler, tied to the Bundy, to Al Bundy.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill?
Katie Sagal.
Katie Sagal has been.
Wow, that was a long way to get there.
It really was.
Former backup singer to Bette Midler.
To Bette Midler.
Got it.
Wait.
Anyway, she was. Absolutely.
Katie Sagal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how she started.
Yeah.
Stop it.
She was backup singer. Barry Manilow was her piano player.
That's right.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Google it.
I love Katie Sagal.
Me too.
Because I love Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
But she has been in the program for a very long time. Same as the guy from Coach.
And Charlotte from Sex and the City.
Shut up.
Yep.
She's sober. Yeah.
But
I
mean, when you have all that, she's been to Crossroads here. Katie Sagal has and spoken. That's where Mom used to have her home meetings. And my mom said like 19 years off of Bethany Homer Glendale. And I said 51. That one.
No, you're talking about Crossroads. It's behind where Winks was.
No, it's actually different.
Oh, because there's one Montebello and 7th Street.
There are different ones,
okay,
but this one cross on 51. And so anyway, she came in there and spoke, and she said, whoever has a day and whoever has 20 years, it's the same amount of time. You're in the exact same amount of time. It doesn't mean you might have more of a strength or more of a background, but you're in the same amount of time, because the minute that you slip, you start over with a day,
right?
And it all goes back to 24 hours.
The one thing that I thought of in regards to Corey, and again, I didn't know the pre. I didn't understand. I didn't realize that was going on. But they were talking about it's a shame that somebody who has all the fortune and also this fame and he has all this success. Well, for people and I think we're all in this to some point. let's say that you're somebody who's already insecure, and then all of a sudden the spotlight starts being shown on you, and you're being praised for things. Okay, so you're being praised for things, but then your insecurity is still, okay, though 78, thousands of people say I'm wonderful. Am I wonderful? Am I good? Am I good enough?
Well, and
so
then there's
pressure
one person who says you're not anymore.
Right. So that, but all that pressure just compounds on you. Do you know your lyric? Do you know your lyrics? Do you know your words? Do you know your marks? Are you good enough? Can you make the public appearance? Does everybody love me? And if you've already got all the insecurity that's there, that maybe led you down that road, and I don't know what led him down that road. I don't know if it was insecurity, if it's just some
family life.
Some Fred said, "Hey, try this," and he had that addictive personality that once he took one hit or one drink, it was just that's what it was. Because we all know there are people like that, but. I just think it's interesting that so many people think just because you've got the world by the ass, you have a #1 TV show and you're dating Leah Michelle for God's sakes, and you're talented and you have all these things going for you,
and you're gorgeous, and
but yet you're alone and in a hotel room, and fears.
Really you're a heroin addict,
right? And and the fears and the paranoia, which I mean, obviously they're cyclical because you do this and it becomes more paranoid and yada yada yada. It's just insane. So it was interesting for me just from the standpoint of all the comments that came out. Oh, he had everything. Why? No, the fact that he had everything
makes it
made
even
it worse from the standpoint of am I good? You're continually asking if you're good enough, constantly.
Very, very, very sad.
So some people who have nothing are much more better off because they only answer to them, and now you're answering to a network and cast members and contracts and producers
and fans.
And fans. Oh, fans are huge because nowadays with the interaction with all the Facebook and the Twitter every wrong move you make, somebody criticizes you about, and they can get to you because they do Twitter you and they do Facebook you. So it's horrible. It's horribly
we're grieving
sad.
And
I'll be very, very curious to see how Glee handles this.
Because he was one of the only ones coming back.
True.
There were 5 that were gotten rid of.
There's some more entertainment coming up on the other side. We're going to begin hour 3. Stay with us. It's the show on Q Talk America. We'll be back in just moments right here.
Listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Once again, good evening. It is 9 o'clock in Phoenix, Arizona. You are listening to the